Hey everybody, welcome to the Unity Gaming Podcast, episode 104. It is Thursday, March 20th, 2014, and I'm Somppi Skyping in.
I'm Riccio, plugged in.
You having a hard time with that?
I'm Kumar.
Oh, everybody! Who?
Wow, what just happened?
Who else other than Devin is here?
Nobody.
Is Dan?
I'm Dan.
Oh,
Dan. What?
no, it's because Devin was yelling over both of you, and Skype likes to just tune everything out when there's someone talking.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Kumar.
Perfect. So this Skype cast is going to go fantastically, I can already tell.
Absolutely. And we are the masters of the universe.
I am literally the universe.
By the power of Grayskull.
The power invested in me, I pronounce you universe. Yep. So you guys.
By the power invested in me, I now pronounce you Unity.
Oh, you did it. You brought it.
Turn that shit right around.
It was like
back
a circle.
Into a podcast about video games.
It was like a circle, and then it turned into an idea that bursted out forth into a joke. It was good. What have you guys been playing this week, you guys?
Who we gonna start with?
Go ahead, Dan.
There you go, Dan.
Okay, I actually wrote everything down because I actually played a lot this week.
Oh,
I have to look at the list.
not bad.
So I played a little bit of what the fuck is that game called? Spelunky.
Oh no. Are you getting better at it?
I don't know. I like to think I am, but then Kumar's
I'd say you
scores are just.
Man, Kumar,
forget my scores. I say
unforgivable.
I've seen Dan's scores steadily increase, and same with Zomp's actually for that matter. I've seen both their scores steadily rising. Every single couple days, you'll see them hit like a new stride of like 10K, 15K, 20K.
What about me?
It's awesome. I love it.
What about me, Kumar?
Did you see
You're not actually even up on the list yet because you have to play at least 10 daily challenges before it'll give you an average. So
He's crying.
Am I not cool enough for you, Kumar?
man, it's because I want to say I think you play all the daily challenges on PC, right?
No, I've been doing them on the Vita. I just haven't done.
Okay, yeah. So you probably just have to go through like a couple more before it'll just give an average.
Yeah, exactly.
And then every time after that, so it'll record your last 10, average them, and then every time you up one of them, it'll knock out the lowest one.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
So if you score 10, like say 10K is your lowest one, and then you score 12, it'll knock out the 10 and bring the 12 into play.
So
Okay.
what's your average, Kumar?
Last I checked, 750K.
Yeah, that's what I fucking
Wow.
I can't even fathom that
What?
amount of money.
Okay, I tried playing around with juking the ghost out.
Yeah.
Just fucking died every single time.
Yep.
The trick to the ghost, I'll tell you this. The trick to the ghost is if you have the glove,
Yeah.
you're in great shape, or if you have a shit ton of ropes, you're in great shape.
Okay.
With a glove, the easiest thing to do is you just if you've got a wall on
I feel
either
like
side of you.
a jetpack would probably be the best.
That's
thing.
the ideal though. Like a jetpack and the glove is the complete ideal, and you can get away from a ghost no matter what. But if you had to like one of the earlier things that you'll typically find, or one of the things that you'll find more often is the glove or more rope. I feel like the jetpack spawn ratio is significantly lower than either of those.
I feel like a few of the daily challenges recently have had jetpacks though.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
They have.
Yeah, I definitely bought one for one of them, and then that's where I ended up with getting 2K. Because I bought it and then promptly fucking ran into a spike. It's like, wow, that was a waste of 20 grand.
They should add spikes on the ceiling just to fuck with Devin. So he's like, oh yeah, jetpack. Oh.
This is gonna
Oh,
sound
that
horrible,
happened.
but
That would
I have
happen.
yet to ever buy a jetpack.
What?
I have yet to ever buy a jetpack. I always steal them. If they're
How do
there,
you-
I
okay.
always steal them.
So,
I'm just gonna.
riddle me this.
I just want to do a
How-
quick little side thing, just in case anyone is wondering. That is Dark Souls 2 playing in the top right. In case we haven't mentioned it yet, I'm just gonna point it
Why don't you
out.
just put writing on the screen?
Oh, well, I could have, but then it took click that. So
Um,
riddle you what, Devin?
Okay, how do you kill the shopkeepers in a manner that is both effective
Yep.
and minimizing risk? Because I have tried smashing them in the face with a whip.
No.
I have tried.
Don't ever try to
smashing
whip
them in
them.
the face
Here's
with
what
a pot.
you do. You steal the little gold skull thing and let the boulder kill them.
Actually, they more often than not will jump over the boulder.
Yeah.
So what you want to get is kill a big spider, get the sticky
Well, yeah,
stuff,
but
and
then,
stick it
but
to the
then
shop's
you can bomb the
face.
boulder so that it keeps rolling and just destroys the whole level and then kills it.
But then you got to waste a bomb, dog.
Not thinking, Dan.
So, Stomps, to answer your question, here's...
Okay, I'm
if you-
clearly number 2 at Spelunky here, so...
I'm clearly number 2 at Spelunky at this. 'cause
Yeah, you
my
guys are
scores
both shit. Number 2.
Actually, I love seeing the feud that's going on right now between their averages because they're so close.
Really?
Like, one good run can bump either Sompy above Dan or Dan above Sompy.
Who's above who right now?
I don't know. Last I checked, I know Somps was... Or sorry, last I checked, Dan, you had beaten him.
That's right.
It's fucking on.
I will check, though. But anyways, yes. The easiest way to
I think
kill
our
a shopkeep...
competition's gonna move to Luftschrauzers right now, Devin. So, continue, Kumar.
Yes, so if you want to kill that shopkeep, best bet is typically you'll find one of the giant spiders, or whatever they're called, queen spider, whatever it is. You'll find one of them within the first world. Just
Yeah.
pitch a bomb into, provided you don't have a shotgun, pitch a bomb into the web right below that spider. You'll
Yeah, I've
kill
been
it.
doing
You'll always get paste out of that spider, right?
Yeah, yeah.
One easy way to get a shopkeeper out of their shop is usually to put a bomb literally right in front, because it'll blow a tiny hole and they'll actually run straight and go down that hole. They won't die, but it'll get them out of the way so you can pick up whatever's in their shop. You got to be really careful though, because obviously only steal stuff if it's worthwhile, right? If you see a shop that's got 4 boxes of bombs, it's probably worth your while. And then you just got to time your shot and pitch a bomb right into the shopkeep's face. That's
Okay,
in my
so-
opinion, that's the most efficient way.
But is this like a one little hole, or like does it just create like a one tile hole?
You got to be careful
or-
because this will only work if there's nothing else below that tile, right? Because the blast radius on a bomb is 2 in every direction, pretty much, depending on
Yeah.
where it lands.
Well, yeah, it's
So-
2, but like 1
It dep-
diagonal.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on how close it is to the nearest wall, right? But if there's nothing below, so say it's a 1 tile floor for the shopkeep, then it's really, really easy because there's nothing below them, right?
Mhm.
So long as there's enough of a drop, you'll be able to get away from them. Otherwise, if they have an ice gun right in their shop, pick it up, shoot them, and jump on it, and you'll kill them. If they have a machete, you can pick it up and just keep stabbing them with it.
Yeah,
you
I've
kill-
done the machete one a couple of times, which has proved to be a very effective manner of killing.
But see, here's the thing, though. You should only ever, like I said, you should only ever steal from the shopkeep if you've got enough stuff, first and foremost, worth your while to steal it from them, and secondly, make sure that you're actually in a position where you'd be able to get to the exit. Otherwise, you're gonna have to fight. So the next time around, so that the very next level, you're gonna be fighting 2 shopkeeps. Typically, you'll fight the one from the shop and then the one that's gonna be standing at the exit.
I just officially had the worst playthrough of Spelunky.
Oh, actually, side little note here. Right now, Somps, you are actually beating Dan by $3,000.
Oof. Hefty.
3280 is how much you're beating Dan by right now.
You can't rouse in Spelunky though, so
I'm sure you could try with the jetpack. So yeah,
Alright,
that's that.
continue,
Sorry to
Dan.
Yeah, what else did you play, Dan?
we talked a little bit last week about some more local multiplayer stream things, and I said I would be the one to pick up Towerfall, and
Yep.
so I bought Towerfall,
Nice.
and it's interesting. It's I don't know if you guys even know what Towerfall is.
I actually don't, and
It's-
I own the Ouya.
I played it. I played
And
it.
the Ouya.
You, yeah.
The one.
Yeah, I own the only Ouya.
Yeah, it's like a 4-player arena game. It's also got a 1 or 2 player like quest mode, which is just like defeating waves of enemies.
Okay.
And the way you kill people is you can either stomp on their heads, or you start the game with 3 arrows, and you can shoot the arrows at people, and you have to actually like pull back the string and then aim it. You can't move while you're aiming the arrow, and then you shoot it. But then it uses up an arrow, and you actually have to. If you're out of arrows, you can't shoot anymore. But you can go pick arrows that have like landed around the arena because they stick into walls and stuff if you miss, or into people's heads if you hit them.
Would you say that there's a real aerodynamic in there?
Yes,
Good.
dynamic use of arrows.
Yeah, aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Stop it! I'm trying to laugh.
So stupid, Riccio.
So yeah, that's interesting. I think it would be a lot of fun to try out. Maybe next time we're all over at Ricio's place or something. Just download it to his console, and I'll bring my controllers, and then we're set.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I've also been playing a little bit of Awesome Knots.
Awesome Knots on PC or Awesome Knots Assemble?
Awesome Knots Assemble.
Ooh.
PlayStation 4.
People getting better?
People are kind of not falling for Liam's shit so much anymore.
Okay.
Whereas, day one, that was just a refreshing experience. Just, yeah, I'm going to go 16-0 because people can't handle the chameleon. So, yeah. And then I only played a little bit of that stuff. The most of my week was occupied by, let's see if you guys, there's 3 other games.
Dead Nation. Dead Nation.
No.
Dead Nation.
No.
Fuck. I don't know. Titanfall?
Yo, Dylan?
I
guess I did play a little bit of Titanfall, but that's not one of the 3.
That's a point I want to make. But anyway, we'll continue. What are the other 3? Other three. Something you've played before or new things?
2 of them are new. 1 of them I've played before.
Oh, that's tough then. Uncharted 2?
I've been talking about one literally all night, and you can't name it. Just because you don't want to say the name. Yeah, Lefty Risers. Luftrausers.
Oh,
that game is fantastic. Okay, you cannot stop.
I haven't played it yet. I haven't played it.
You cannot stop the Luftrausers playing.
I'm sorry.
You can't stop the rousing. That game is incredible because it is the flight sim that I never knew I wanted, but always have wanted.
Nice.
Because it's just this little arcadey thing. There's 4 buttons. There's you press up to rouse, you press left and right to turn the plane left and right, and you press pretty much any other button to shoot.
Okay.
And the music is fantastic. The little 8-bit graphics are fantastic. The controls feel fantastic, and it's just weaving in between bullets and just cutting the engine out to dodge under stuff and
Is it like a bullet hell arcade score shoot 'em up?
It may as well be bullet hell. That's probably the best way to describe it.
But is it all about getting the score stuff, or is it all what?
Well, it's very much designed by the by Vlambeer, so it's the ridiculous machine.
Oh, okay. Super Crate
Yeah.
Box as well.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
They did all that.
Cool.
And so they've got kind of mobile hooks in there. So there's 3 challenges at all time, depending on what components make up your ship. And you can have a weapon, a chassis, and an engine.
Okay.
And so that they each change different properties of your ship. So the weapon's obviously how you shoot. The chassis is usually what kind of armor, or if the ship has any sort of peripheral way of attacking or something like that. And the engine is, the different engine.
Yeah.
And each of them have a certain number of challenges associated with them. So as you go into the game, you have your weapon challenge, your chassis challenge, and your engine challenge, and you complete them, and then another one unlocks, and you just kind of keep playing the games over and over again with different challenges to kind of influence the way you play.
When you say the challenges, is it more what's that endless runner game there with the jetpack? Jetpack Joyride.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
It's yeah.
Okay, so the amount that I would be addicted to Jetpack Joyride is a potential possibility here.
Yes.
You make it sound like it's really cool, but I feel like
shut up.
Judging, I'm not. It's not talking down, but not about to talk down the game though. It sounds pretty cool, and for it, when I play with that little browser flash game that you could try, it would seem pretty awesome. But I'll probably pass on it because it is. I know $8 isn't much, but I still have Bravely Default that I was supposed to sort of play through, which is on a DS upstairs.
Yeah, well,
which
with
is
your backlog, you're probably right.
Well, it's not even a backlog. It's just I don't even turn on my handhelds that much anymore. It makes me feel bad. So
I actually play my Vita every night.
I tried to, but sometimes
and
I
that's
just go to
why
bed
Loose Rousers is going to be the perfect thing for Devin.
Yeah.
And I know Kumar will appreciate it as a video gamer. So
but
you can just when we're talking all Loose Rousers next week,
Dark
so
Souls.
that's fine.
You guys better pick up Dark Souls then. It'll be the fair trade-off, an $8 game for a $60. No, actually, it's $69.99 here now.
See, I was debating on getting Dark Souls as well, but I own the first one, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play this game. Never touched it. So I was like,
you should.
Well,
if you already have the PC one, I'd highly suggest diving into it. But we'll talk about Dark Souls a little bit later when I bring it up, because unless you guys want to bring it up now.
For you.
Yeah.
So with Lefty Risers,
Yeah.
is there level progression, or are you playing the same stuff, just trying to go after different challenges?
It's the same world that you get dropped into, but
Yeah.
depending on, I'm not sure what exactly influences, but it seems to be the amount of time you're alive and what you're killing. It'll
Okay.
spawn different, like, bigger, tougher enemies. Like
So if you shoot down like a sub, for example, like a different boat or something would show up, like a heavier.
well,
boat or
when the
something?
game starts, there's just these little, like, tiny airplane fighters.
Yeah.
And these, like, little gunships. That's it. That's all there is to kill. And then kind of if you kill more stuff in the air, these enemy aces will show up, and they're flying ships like you're flying ships, like cutting out the engine and doing all kinds of weird rotating and stuff, and they're chasing after you.
So it's more like a dogfight, I guess.
Yeah, and jets will spawn, and they are kind of flying by and trying to ram into you.
Yeah, they're the ones that just like.
They just
They
cruise
kamikaze?
across the screen, yeah. And if you start killing more boats, there will be like battleships that spawn and subs that spawn, and eventually, if you keep going, okay, there's blimps that will spawn, and they're just kind of like they're big battle stations, and they launch missiles and just have like tons of fucking guns on them. And then there's also something that they said, that's weird, I don't know what that is, little thing came across the screen. I was like, what is it? And then a laser from nowhere kind of just killed me, and I was like, well, all right, that's the end of that run. So I think there's way more depth to it as well.
Okay.
So there's different enemies and stuff to. Riccio, you're playing a fucking mobile game on the stream. What?
Oh, what am I? What?
Yo, he's playing the guitar.
No. What he is? Let's keep going. Let's try to play DJ
Anyways,
Max.
there's variation, and the real variation is the different chassis and like equipment that you're using.
And you said it just like it changes the entire way you play the game, right?
The engines mostly change the way you play the game. The chassis sometimes have like, well, everything might have like oh, you heal slower, but you have a more damaging shot type of thing, right?
Okay.
But then the shot, like, I feel like the chassis influence it the least, because it's just like, oh, now your ship doesn't take damage from ramming things, or like now you have more health, but you have a slower overall speed. Like, there might like different stat changes basically.
Yep.
But the weapon and the engine really, like, you are flying a different thing at that point, because you can get like a laser, you can get like a spread shot, you start out with the machine gun, you can get like a homing rocket launcher thing, but it like only fires in clusters of 4, so you have to like, yeah. Anyways, there's so much to play in that. Different engines are like, this one's like super fast, but you can't turn, and this one's like you just you point it a direction and you just kind of keep floating in that direction until you change direction. So it's like you're in outer space type of thing.
No gravity.
There's a lot of different variation there, and I have it on all random right now. So when I launch, and there's different challenges for that, by the way. So there's different ones to complete if you're on random. So it just kind of dumps me in the game with like a random combination of 3 things, and just every different combination of 3 things has a different name.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting, like, seeing those names, and like my favorite one is the pig, which is spread shot, like heavy chassis and like speed engine. So yeah. It's a very fun game. I don't know how much I've played it so far, but I only started over lunch today, and oh God, I've played so much. I played it the entire way home. I played it since I got home. I played it since we got on the Skype call. I played it all of today in every spare moment I've had. So yeah,
not bad.
So it's safe to say that you're enjoying it.
If I stop playing it right now, I will got my money's worth out of that game.
It's pretty intense. Like, I'm playing it right now, and I'm finding
that's why I've put it down, because you need a lot of concentration.
Yeah, I'm finding that I'm having issues correctly dodging different vehicles. So I'm finding I'm ending up being suicide or kamikaze by a lot of planes. So
well, you do get used to it.
When the circle appears around you, is that like damage being done to you?
Yeah, that's the circle's basically your health. When it like closes in on your ship, you're done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can kind of dodge in and out of the water a little bit.
Yeah, and out into the clouds at the top. There's an engine that you'll get that's like, you don't take damage in the water, but you take triple damage in the clouds. So, yeah. There's lots of different ways to play that game. It's pretty great.
It's a pretty fascinating little concept, to be honest with you.
Does sound pretty cool. It did look pretty cool too, from what I saw.
Yeah, maybe worth the money for show, maybe.
Money's
Neat
tight
styling.
right now because of certain stupid things that renewed, but I'll probably pass it on for now. I think by the time I would want to play it, I'd get to it, or even if I bought it, I wouldn't play
Maybe
enough.
it'll go free on Plus or something.
Either free or I'll be able to get it like 50% off at some point or something stupid during like a summer sale or something. But I'll probably pick it up. I mean, chances are games like that normally find their way onto like Greenlight on Steam anyway, so I'll probably play it at some point. But it does sound pretty goddamn cool because I remember playing so much Super Crate Box, and for some reason there was nothing in it, but it was so fucking addicting to play. And
That's
it sounds,
Kind of what this is.
it sounds like that. So,
But like you get this great sense of acrobatics because you're like
Dodging shit
juking
every
over bullets and like stalling your engine in midair and like kind of like flying till you hit the water and then like bursting out of the water again. And
can we take
Pro tip, Devin. If you stop shooting, your health will recharge.
oh,
can
that is a pro tip.
we take a quick side thing here real quick?
Sure.
So Red Dead Apple from the channel posted a quick link to a post that says describe your sex life with a video game title, and Kumar gave his answer in the chat, but this could be something funny. So, Kumar, what was yours?
I said Mass Effect.
I'll say faster than light. I don't know.
I can't.
I also said God of War.
Yeah. So, maybe Stick of Truth, or I don't know. I'm just looking at new games now. Now I'm just sad. I've ruined
Elder
it.
Scrolls.
Oh, I'd be like Elder Scrolls or something.
That's not what he said. Richard.
What about you could have said Nether. That could have been weird.
That could have been a
It's
weird.
like a butthole thing.
Jeez.
Maybe,
really
maybe
weird.
Cave Story. That- Oh, I have no idea. That sounds weird. I'm gonna look for another dirty one and say it out of nowhere, but continue on. I'm sorry. I just
The
figured-
Binding
else?
of Isaac.
Ugh. Bleed? Oh, that's a bad one. All right, that's a fucking shoot.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh,
that's
buddy.
So wrong. And we're
I
done.
like the, I like
That
the Binding
killed
of
it.
Isaac. It's like I'm into some weird, freaky binding stuff.
And I fucking killed it. Remember Me would have been pretty good.
Thomas was alone.
Oh wow.
Oh,
It'll do.
just keep going. It's
Oh,
good.
no. The Swapper. That would have been a good one, actually. I like that. I like that one a lot.
Battle-
Super Stardust would probably have a place somewhere.
Yeah.
Starbound.
There's a game called Dream on my list. That could be pretty good. Fireburst. That sounds like you've got
Counter-Strike.
issues.
Flower.
Flower. Little Inferno. Oh man, these are pretty bad.
Yeah, this is.
Risen. That's a game.
I'm
And
gonna look at my Steam list now and see what I can
Shank.
find.
That
no
could be one.
fucking wonder if that's getting pretty popular on Facebook or whatever that gets
Yeah.
linked on. Because it seems that every game title works.
Yeah.
for it.
Trauma. That's the game I have.
Lone Survivor.
Lone Survivor. Yeah. Tomb Raider.
Castle Cratchers.
Cratchers.
Tomb
Castle
Raider.
Tomb Raider.
Fear.
Oh my god. These are...
Brothers, A Tale of Two.
Rise. Rise is pretty good.
Just Cause.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Every game could be used here.
Front Mission
Actually-
Evolved.
Left 4 Dead. Or Payday.
Dwarfs. I think we've got it. The Ball.
Stalker.
Oh, Stalker would be good.
What have you done, Riccio?
Uh,
Actually, what have you done? Red Dead is a better.
Spiral Knights.
That sounds really weird. I think I'm just going through my list now and I can't find one.
Thief.
Oh, maybe. Kingdoms Rise. That.
Waveform.
Gun. There you go. There's one. Gunpoint.
God damn.
And I think we're just gonna Doorways. That's a fucking disturbing one. And there's a good one. It's a mod. Cry of Fear. All right, let's stop. And let's just keep going with what you guys were talking about.
Heyday.
One-way heroics.
Heyday. Farmville.
Bioshock.
Oh wow, Bioshock. Ugh, it's the word bio in it. This seems weird.
Oh my goodness.
This is.
So Dan, what else have you been playing?
Betrayer.
I finished Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh my fuck.
Whoa.
Fantastic.
What about?
Oh, sorry guys. One last one.
Go for it.
Super Meat Boy.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm sorry, Dan. Continue.
Outlast is actually a good one.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Anyway, continue, Dan. Wait, Dan. No, you said you finished Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
What about Beyond Two Souls?
No, not yet.
God damn it. We'll get there.
I'm working on it.
Souls could be a really weird.
I thought I was on the very last mission of Grand Theft Auto, but I was on the last heist, and there's kind of some mission stuff to do right after that.
Okay.
Like a lot of it. So that was like 4 hours. I don't know.
Okay.
Spent a lot of time, but that game ends fantastically, and yeah, I can't believe I waited this long to.
Yeah.
Wait, I was just gonna ask, how
Remastered
much did you
card.
actually have left? Like when you stopped playing, do you know now looking back kind of thing, was it like a couple hours worth or a couple missions?
It was like almost 3 hours,
Okay.
but that's just because Grand Theft Auto's long, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I-
I was right before the final heist because they asked you to do a preparation mission where you have to find 3 identical looking cars, and they send it to you in an email with a picture of where the car is and then a picture of the GPS coordinates, but you can't put the GPS coordinates into your fucking map, so you just have to kind of flick between the phone and the map and figure out where the fuck it is, and that's when I stopped.
Can I
So I finally sucked it up and did that, and then finished the
can I say one more?
game. Yes.
Beat Hazard. All right, or the club, that could be a good one as well. All right, I'm gonna stop. This is just too many. All right, yeah. Dead Rising. Ugh. Okay, that's really weird. Ugh.
Secrets of the Magic Crystal.
Oh god.
Fucking horse game.
Knack. No. Anyways, so Dan, when do you think you can finish Beyond Two Souls for next week? Do it.
Next week? Why next week all of a sudden?
I don't know if you're done. GTA, I mean, for next week, like next week's podcast.
You just really want to talk to someone about that game.
I don't even remember it now. It's fucking gone.
It's gone.
Oh yeah. So what else have you guys been playing then?
I've got one more game.
Oh, go for it.
Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes.
Oh, really?
Oh.
You got that?
Oh snap! Wait, you finished it?
Played and finished.
Yeah, I heard some of my buddies went through it in 45 minutes.
45 seconds.
How long did it take you to go through it, Dan?
96.
Oh, okay.
That's
Jeez.
pretty short.
It's that game can definitely if you got real good at knowing the enemy patterns and stuff, you could probably beat the game in about 5 minutes.
Seriously?
Because it's the thing they talk about Metal Gear Solid 5 a lot is that they're trying to make it like open world stealth.
Yeah.
So kind of just dropping you into an area and then you kind of exploring and figuring out what the patrol patterns of the guards are and stuff, and there's a shift change in there, and mapping out all the buildings and actually learning the world. So I think this does a fairly good representation of that. But as a result of that, as soon as you know where the stuff is that you have to do, and the good path to do it, you just okay, rescue this person, helicopter, sneak in this area, helicopter, done.
So what I want to ask is that once you beat that, I know it unlocks the hard mode, and it also unlocks, I think, 5 side missions.
It unlocks 4 side missions,
okay.
and I think you get the 5th one by doing something else. I don't know. There is a 5th one, but you don't get it by completing the game.
Okay. Have you gone through those as well?
I tried them. They are definitely a lot more unforgiving than the main story.
Okay.
Because the main story, eventually at about minute 80, I just fucking pulled out the biggest assault rifle I could find and killed everyone on the base.
Okay.
Trying to run around and find where the last thing I was supposed to do was, and just kind of sprinted around. So yeah, that was the last 10 minutes of that game, is murdering everyone and then figuring out where I was supposed to go.
Oh my god.
Were the shooting mechanics worthwhile? It made that whole rampage.
It feels like a good third-person shooter.
Okay, cool.
So and that
like, how much did you end up paying for that?
It's $30 on PS3 download or PS4 download.
Yeah, I was
sorry.
gonna say it's $20 on the PS3 or Xbox 360.
Is
What?
it
And then it's
worth
like $45 on disc. So don't do that.
$45 in Canada. It's actually $30 on disc in the United States and stuff. It's the same price.
But, well, that doesn't affect us, does it?
Yeah, I know. But yeah, like Devin was asking, is it worth it? Do you think for your 30?
You know what makes it the most worth it is that is one of the best looking games I have ever fucking seen.
Really?
That's what I've been hearing. Is that everyone
It
raving
looks
about how good it looks.
incredible.
Dan,
Yeah.
is it 60 frames?
I wouldn't be able to tell you. Google it. You'll find
God
a better
damn it.
answer than I'd be able to give you.
No, I heard
it looks
yeah.
smooth, but for all you know, that means it was running at 25 for me. Like, you can't.
No, it's running at 60 frames on next gen
well,
consoles. So
It looks good. If you wanted to play that, Riccio, I could like sign into your console and download it, and then leave my account signed in so that you could play it for 90 minutes.
Possibly. I'll take you up on that. I'll take you up on that.
You could actually sign into my account right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could
Download
just
it,
do
'cause
that.
the password and everything is saved, so you could just get right on that for tomorrow's cast if you wanted to.
But I hate playing things without paying for it.
I think with your current financial situation and the way you sometimes regret paying for things, you might just want to basically borrow this from me.
I could return one of my Call of Duty Ghosts. Why did I buy
Oh
two?
my God.
And then get
How much are those worth now? Because I
$30
totally screwed the pooch and didn't trade that in pre-Titanfall.
I think
Yeah.
it's still 30. I think so. At least, or it's 28 or something now. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
I like
value
that
for that
people are
bitch.
still saying the sex life.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like it.
Papers, please.
The what?
It's too good. It's too good. Crisis Warhead. There you go. Dark Spore.
Resistance.
Dear Esther.
Dear Esther. That
Yeah.
sounds like a really weird, like 1900s love note. Dear Esther, I long
Uncharted.
for your loins.
Money quest for epic loot.
Edge. And
Max Payne. All right.
that's pretty good.
Oh,
God mode.
Took it to a weird level.
Oh, Gone Home. That made me cringe a little bit.
Paranormal activity.
Yeah. Inversion. That's a weird one.
Oh my God.
All right.
God.
Legendary. There you go. That's
Yep,
a good game.
Great. All right. It's done.
Mark of the
Anyway.
Ninja. Don't even know.
That's awesome.
Wait, did I just get laid? That's what it's like.
Boom. All right. So what else are you guys been playing?
Ground Zeroes was entertaining.
Oh,
That's
right.
the bottom line there. That's. I haven't really liked past Metal Gear games because I felt the controls were lacking.
Even for
But this one gives you the option to change it to shooter controls, and it just feels better to kind of do everything in that game. So I think if you have never played a Metal Gear game before, you could probably jump in here and be fine, because that's basically the situation I'm in. I've read wikis on the stories, and that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's also a 11-page short story with comic backdrop for
Sweet.
Peace Walker.
Also, Dan, I think we're getting some epic echo from you.
I keep turning it down every time you say it.
I think you might have to lower your actual mic volume just a tiny bit. So I think it's Skype being all broodoo.
Can you hear it right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. Well, let me just
Um,
do this real quick.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop the name Nation Red as well as No Time to Explain.
No time to explain. It's pretty good.
I like these.
Quickly, no time to explain.
Poker night at the inventory. Okay, anyways, Devin, you been playing anything this week?
Yeah, actually. I watched a really cool documentary, which I think most gamers, or at least PC gamers, have probably seen. It's called Free to Play.
Yeah.
You're right. Technically, you did play that because
Well, you watched it on YouTube.
select play.
Yeah,
game
I watched mine
Steam.
on YouTube.
But I got it, and I got the achievement for watching it, and it was called GG. So good.
I'm honestly that's something I'm gonna probably make Amanda watch.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Well, okay, not make Amanda watch, but like it's something that I want to have her experience as well, because I found it to be pretty eye opening about the culture that people who are not gamers have this opinion about gamers, which I don't think is really valid anymore, because gamers are not stereotypical anymore. Everybody can be considered a gamer, and gaming is kind of the new sport, essentially,
Okay.
like so I found it to be really fascinating and really eye-opening about how like a lot of people's opinions on gaming and gaming culture are. So I really liked it. It's a documentary about the 2011 or 2012?
Yeah, 2011. Yeah.
Yeah, 2011 Valve Dota International.
Yep.
And that was the first one that had a prize pool of above 50K.
It was the first tournament. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. It was the first tournament to.
Yeah, to
Was
break.
that the second international?
No,
Was
it
it
was
the
it's the first international. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was like $1 million went directly to the first prize winners.
Jeez.
And when you think about that, like
So wait, that's 200K each? Or-
200K each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
And, like a lot of the people who are quote unquote professional gamers who are playing in this like international competition are like 18.
Yeah.
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 18, 19. There's a couple of like I found it to be very not ironic, but I found it to be really interesting how the veterans were guys who were like 25, 26,
Yeah.
have been playing from the beginning, like they're battle hardened veterans. And it's like, when in sports, whenever you hear the discussion about like the veterans on the team, they're like guys who are like 35,
Yeah.
almost 40, they're pushing it, they're near their end of their career. But with this, it's like, yeah, he's a veteran, he's 25, he's been around since Dota 1,
His
like
click's getting a little like rusty. It's like, oh no.
yeah, so it's just
Not
I found it
25.
yeah. So I found it to be really fascinating and it really sucked me in on it, and I'm not a huge fan of Dota, but I can really appreciate the sport as it is, because like esports are sports. They're not sports nowadays. They are actually sports. And it's like they also touched on in the documentary about how gaming in China and Asia, like
Yeah.
that is like you are a rock star if you are a StarCraft 2 player.
Actually,
Like,
quick interlude here. Did you hear about some of these new developments in South Korea?
No?
There's a school that, based on how good you are at a particular game, you can actually get a scholarship into one of their programs.
That's pretty
Wow,
awesome.
yeah, I don't doubt that, because like one of the things that I found to be really like pretty eye-opening for me was they talked about how South Korea was in the World Soccer Championship,
Mhm.
and when they wanted to be pumped up, they brought in the StarCraft 2 like South Korean champions,
Took a lot
because
for
the
him.
soccer team, that was their idol. So it was
That's
just
awesome.
really fascinating and really like eye-opening to see how like in like Western culture, being a gamer is not a disadvantage, but it's not something that you can be like, I'm a gamer, and people are like, oh, that's awesome. They're like, oh,
What else do you do?
yeah, what else do you do? It's like, no,
Yeah, oh,
like,
nerd.
yeah, it's not viewed in a positive light, whereas in like even in like Eastern Europe now, they're starting to like view gaming as a respectable thing to do. Like it takes skill to do.
You
And
know what
so
it is though, because they have a grand respect for the discipline that goes into how good these people get.
yeah,
Because they're not just sitting there saying like, oh, I'm gonna play when I feel like it and get good at it. Like they have pretty ridiculous schedules in place.
yeah, but
Yeah,
it was
it's their job at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So I just find it to be really fascinating. But like it, like even when like for instance, people who play soccer, like when they're like, yeah, I play soccer in my spare time. People are like, oh yeah, that's great. But when it's like if you talk to quote unquote a not gamer or like a normal person, if you want to put quotes around that, and it's like I'm a gamer, they're like, oh, do you play sports?
Yeah, do you ever go outside? It's
Yeah,
a
it's like-
derogatory thing.
Yeah, it's this derogatory. There's this stigma attached to it that it's this really, it's not a positive thing at all. So that's why I actually like want to show as many people as I can this documentary, because it shows that yeah, gaming is not just like it's not a solo thing anymore as much as it used to be. It's now this big community thing that there are millions of gamers out there who put passion into this, and you know the internet is its own entity essentially as compared to like you know like putting together a soccer team. You know, so I don't know. I just found it to be really fascinating, and I ended up falling down a really couple of like weird holes. I read a really
You
interesting.
gotta watch out for those holes, Devin.
Yeah. I read a really interesting white paper that was talking about the positive effects of gaming at a young age. Because you know, like the argument now is like when people are gaming at a young age, they're you know like it's violence and stuff like that. But it's like with a 46% increase in hand-eye coordination, like 52% in the ability for problem-solving skills. Like it was like all these valuable assets that were honed better in the gamer versus the non-gamer. So it was, I don't know, I found this, it just kind of like sparked this weird, I'm gonna go hunt the internet for things related to video games that aren't actually video games. So I
I
don't know.
feel like it's one
cool.
of those things that adds a lot of perspective to what you probably don't even know as a gamer.
Yeah, it kind of opened my eyes because like I surround myself with people who like gaming as well. Like I have friends who don't and such, but
Yeah, fuck this shit.
you know,
No.
like I surround
Shuts down
myself
the
with you know, I surround myself with people who really enjoy. Oh my god, somebody just linked the best title, Fat Princess.
I have
Oh
one
my
here. Primal
Yeah.
Carnage.
Primal Carnage. So it's you know, so I surround myself with people who are within the same mentality that I am, but I do have people who are not as well. But I don't talk about gaming to those people because they don't. You know, there's that stigma attached to it. So it's kind of really eye-opening. It gave me some really interesting perspective on the other side of the fence, essentially. So,
Probably
I
couldn't
don't
even
know.
have a conversation with them even if you wanted about gaming.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like they don't want to put the effort in, I guess, to like understand it because they're like it's like this is something bad, so I'm not going to try and
Well, it's just
grasp
a
it.
different, it's a
That's
different level of interest and everything, right? So
yeah. So I don't know. That ended up consuming a decent chunk of my free time this week, was just like trying to earn more of that outside perspective and appreciate the culture that we have. Sometimes it is horribly toxic, sometimes it is good. So it was interesting, not to get all super serious.
Yeah.
So it was good. I liked it. And because of that documentary, I ended up playing Dota.
Yeah, the worst matches in history of it though.
Worst fucking Dota matches ever. I played previously before playing Dota last night.
One.
I had played 39 minutes of Dota, which was approximately one match that I don't even remember playing at all. So obviously it went incredibly well.
And it wasn't
the
even a
matches-
win.
It wasn't even a win.
Yeah. You still had no experience.
Yeah, so I had no experience. And my god, did we just get shit on like constantly. But it wasn't like, you know, like in a game where you're playing a multiplayer game and you're just getting shit on. You usually know up front that like, oh, I'm just getting fucked. Like I'm just getting pounded. No, this was this slow, drawn out.
Are we losing? Is it no? What is if we? We're losing, right? Yeah, it's just taking forever. Oh, okay, sweet. Let's just let them win. Why aren't they? Okay, let's just.
Yeah.
It's 30 minutes into this. So what happened?
You can't leave because Dota has this really fucked up punishment system.
It's just like CS:GO. Like it's the same system.
Yeah,
just
but
that.
it's not bans. Like CS:GO, you get a wait time before you can redo a match.
Yeah.
Dota's like, hey, you left this match. We're gonna shit you with all these other levers.
Yeah.
So you end up getting like really fucking horrible people.
The so what's tough is that the person we decided to play with, who's actually really good at Dota, decided to play with us on a lower leveled account. Except for that lower level account is an account that he maybe left a few games because he didn't care about it. So we got shoved into that crappy levers bracket to play matches with him, and we're not going to do that again because that was
lesson learned.
Yeah.
Oh
lesson learned.
man, we go against like people who obviously know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, like just perfect
Like-
matchups against us, and we were probably playing together like all 5 people, and it was
Yeah, who are
Yeah.
probably like full 5-man teams, just like getting the perfect character matches
Yeah.
to counter everyone, and it was just
Well,
like,
Meanwhile, Devin's like, wait, there's a shop that you have to buy things to that then a courier brings it to you. We're just like, hold on, all right. While there's like 5 people swarming, like murdering everybody, it's like, oh okay.
it's essentially being taught how to shoot a bow and arrow in front of a Mongolian horde. So I pull it back. Oh god, my face!
Yeah.
Retarded.
But I think we're gonna try it at least one more time to see if you actually enjoy it. I mean, I know we still play a little bit of League of Legends, but
Yeah, like that's the thing is I really want to enjoy Dota.
yeah.
It's not like I have this like grudge against it where I'm not trying to enjoy it. I really want to enjoy
Yeah.
this game.
We
But every time I play it, I just get my face smashed into the wall and told that I'm stupid.
It's just funny because like every other Dota match that I've played, usually there's like a clear like, oh my god, we can do this, we can totally come back, and you kind of get like pumped up, and you kind of really fight for it, and then you'll win, and you feel really great. And normally I think whenever Devin and I, when we end up playing League, we get that same feeling when we're playing that. But the 3 matches that we decided to try to get you into the game were like the slowest, just us getting destroyed over a long period of time, like just the most boring things I've ever even played. That it was like, it's gonna be another Planet Side where I try to show him this amazing game, and it's just the worst experience that we give him. But
Yeah, I won't play PlanetSide again.
Yeah, that's understandable, but
That's not gonna happen.
yeah,
That's the big
I-
picture.
Fucking installed that game, waited 2.5 hours for that to download and install, played 1 match, and went, you know what? I'm fucking done with this, and I think it's still uninstalled.
I went back into Planet Side like a week ago, and I played with like 9 or 10 people or something on the stream, and that was pretty fun.
Riccio.
But
It is still technically installed.
oh, we gotta play some more. Give it another chance, Devin. But
Give me another chance.
you play anything else, Devin, other than Dota? Are you gonna try Dota again? You think?
Yeah, no,
you're
I'm
saying
definitely
here?
gonna try
Okay,
Dota again.
Cool.
The thing that I don't really understand about Dota is like with League of Legends, there's a clear metagame, which is like these counter these people. These are like you've got tank, bruiser, like they're clear categories.
Yeah,
And there are only probably about maybe 75 champions
yeah,
in League of Legends. No, not even. There's probably about 50 champions in League of Legends.
yeah,
And I feel like I just need to invest the time because I know when I first started with League of Legends, I did not have. I was playing with a group of like 4 people all at the same time.
yeah,
So it was really easy for me to pick it up because I had those people to pick up the slack.
yeah.
But I'm feeling really lost with Dota because it is very complex. And once I feel I grasp the basics, like I understand how to last hit and deny, and once I get that down a little bit better, and once I understand how the shop works a little bit better and the courier system, and then when I get a little more map like awareness and just kind of once I get my building blocks down,
Yeah.
then I can start building on top of the meta game and really trying it out and perfecting that, because that's why I'm so good at League is like I know immediately what counters what do I need to build, what do I need to go for, who do I need to shut down. But with Dota it's this like unknown entity with like 100 champions that I have no idea what the categories that people fall into is, and like I don't know any of their abilities, so I don't know how to counter
It
them.
almost feels daunting at this stage to
Yeah.
install that game and be like,
That's
It's
there's
that is-
800 people to choose.
yeah.
Where do I even fucking start?
So I think
That
what's the difference between what you're trying to get out of Dota and what like how you play League is I think with at least from what I've get oh god echo it's sorry what I think is that with League when you pick a character there's like multiple ways you can play it, like you can kind of get a support person but end up still going a little bit of ability power or whatever and still being able to kick some ass. And plus you have like the masteries and the runes that kind of can tweak your character to make someone who's maybe not supposed to do damage do damage. They I feel like there's a speech jammer going on. Anyway, the thing is with Dota is like today you played Dazzle, and that's like a super support character, and I think had you tried to play that character a different way, you can't. Like you pick a support character, you have to be a support character. You pick a carry, there's no other way to do it. You're gonna be a carry. Like there's no fucking
So you're a
around.
little more locked into your roles.
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially.
So that's the thing is if you don't know what role you're supposed to be aiming for, it's just kind of it's really hard to get into it. But
So like that's
I feel like more so than ever, people would shit on you too if you take a role that you like. So say use Dan's example, right?
Yeah.
I've never played it, so if I jump in right now, I feel like if I took a particular role and people were expecting me to know what I'm doing,
yeah,
I wouldn't obviously, and I just feel like they would shit all over me, regardless of whether they know I'm new or not.
Well,
Yeah, that's kind of what happened to me because I picked Skeleton King because he looked cool and had some like health recovery stuff.
Oh, because he's like a support guy, I guess, right?
But he's not at all. He's supposed to be like he's a carry or whatever. So you're supposed to get a lot of last hits and improve your skills and always pick the projectile skill first, not the health thing. Like I don't. It's too
There's
much.
no way you could have known this.
And yeah, like how am I? I don't want to read a fucking strategy guide on a singular character before I'm like accepted into the game.
So that's the thing that's really cool about Dota right now is they've implemented a crazy tutorial that you can kind of go through, which I know it's not the greatest and it won't teach you everything, but you kind of get the feel.
I played that tutorial.
So they've changed the tutorial. They've added there was like the initial one that I think you messed around with, because I think they've redone it and
that one was like there was like maybe 3 or 4 missions where you played a sniper.
Yeah, that was.
And then they had like, okay, play against bots and then play against like other people in tutorial matches.
So they've redone that from what I know, because I had that done, and now when I go check my tutorials, it says I'm 0%. So I think they redid it or changed something. But the thing is now what they've done is that in Dota 2, to make it a little bit easier, is if you already know what you're going to be getting into in terms of like a MOBA or whatever, now when you go into the game, people can make guides for it that instead of like you were saying, Dan, to learn a character, like you have to kind of read everything about him to know what's up. Now what they have is in the top right, there's a little book that we kind of showed that to Devin, that if you click on it, you can choose, there's like a list of popular builds of people use, and you can click it, and what it'll do, it'll tell you which items to buy, what order you should be getting your skills in, and all that stuff. But the cool thing is because these builds are made by people, it'll be like, oh, you should get this skill first, and when you mouse over it, it'll tell you, like, sure, it'll tell you that what that skill does or whatever. But at the bottom, there's like the person who made the build, like personal notes, like, oh, you should use this kind of like, let's say an encounter's about to start, like use this to start encounters because it's really helpful for your team to whatever. Like you can write that, and then when you mouse over like the items, it'll say like, oh, you can build this if you want, if you feel like you're taking too many hits, or oh, go to this, get this item instead first, and like there's really cool ways for the game to kind of like ease you into it now if you're just picking like a random character and going in. I mean, it's not going to make you amazing, but it at least gives you at least some footing, eases you in. So they've done like little things to make it a little bit easier. And they've also added the ability to be coached. I don't know how it works really, but apparently you can like go into like a ranked match and choose someone to be your coach so that he can watch your game and like voice chat you and be like, okay, do this right now. Like kind of have somebody backing you up, which is
interesting feature. I would love to do that shit for like someone playing Spelunky.
Yeah.
Or Binding of Isaac for that matter.
That'd be cool. For sure. But it's still something that's pretty crazy to get into because sure, you'll know your character, but there's still like 99 other ones out there that you have to figure out and know what the hell's about to hit you in the face. But at least they're making it a little bit easier for you to kind of like ease your way in. So
yeah,
that's why I'm hoping that if ever we play another match with Devin and we have all of us as low level people, everyone's going to kind of be looking at those guild or those builds and being like, oh, okay, I kind of really don't know this person, instead of like a group of 5 people coordinated and know exactly what they have to do and just fuck your whole day up. But
I wouldn't mind like playing a few matches of it, like just against AI to kind of get like a couple of characters down.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, get solidified with a couple of them before you start
What's
going
cool?
against actual people. Because the way I just was just thrown to the fucking wolves,
Yeah.
and we play 3 pick,
Yeah. Single draft.
and it just like
I don't even know what that is.
And what it does out of the whole 99, it'll give you the choice of only 3 characters to choose from for everybody. Like there's like you get 3, you get 3, you get 3, you get 3. It's so that the people who are really good at the game can't just go pick the best characters. You're kind of given a random 3, so it's a little bit more fair. But yeah,
I guess it's their way of trying to balance things.
yeah, it's a different game mode, but yeah, it's
Cool.
it's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool to try at one point.
Is Skeleton King even still called Skeleton King? Because I remember hearing about them renaming a bunch of heroes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he is. I'm pretty sure he is, or at least he's still called that, even though he has a different name. But
you can rename it in game, but you can't change it on the internet.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to get back or get into it a little bit more. But I'm kind of also dancing with League as well, just because it is a little bit more fun and a little bit faster to get into. But I feel like as much as League is really fun now and we're having fun, there's probably this awesome sense of getting way better at Dota and learning that style of game, because it's pretty much like a game like League of Legends, which is so much more meta and weird shit built into it that you can just kind of get better at. And I don't know, I kind of like that. But it's definitely tougher. It's definitely way more intense.
That'll be something for last time I started playing is when there was no games coming out.
Yeah.
So next time there are no games coming out, that'll be something to try.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's definitely something that I am happy I am trying out.
Yeah.
But it definitely is a little bit.
A little much.
It's weird for you because you're really good at League, and then when you go to Dota, you're like, I feel like this is the same game, but I am fucking retarded right now or something. Like it's just it is different. It is really different.
It makes you feel honestly. It makes you feel a little stupid because I'm ranked pretty good in League of Legends, and going into this, it's just I just feel dumb.
Everybody kind of feels weighty, and like just even the feel is different, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's different. It's cool.
It's also way more zoomed in
Yeah.
as opposed to League of Legends, where you're kind of zoomed out decently far.
Yeah.
This is really like
For sure.
really on top of your character, and if you're not careful, you can kind of really lose track of yourself really quickly.
Yeah. Tunnel vision, not pay attention to the map, and then. Boop.
Mhm.
But we'll play more of it. You play anything else though, Devin?
I don't know what else I've been playing. Let me just
Do we want to talk about Titanfall a little bit? If you've been playing that.
Yeah, I've kind of trailed off playing Titanfall, to be honest with you. The reason why is I'm just finding I'm losing interest in it. I've got most of the weapon, like I've hit like 34 or something like that.
No.
So I've got everything pretty much unlocked except for the sniper rifle, but I don't really have any interest in using that.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely finding it. There's no real incentive besides, what is it, prestiging or generation?
Generation, yeah. Generizing. I don't know.
Generizing.
I don't know what it's called.
I don't really feel this need to continue to play this game, so it's tailed off a lot for me, as well as I'm finding the people I'm playing with, like just randomly joining matches with them, to be not very good.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be the other way around. I've been hearing
No.
so many stories, people just joining into Titanfall now, and people have just gotten so good at the parkour and all the craziness that.
No,
Yeah.
I've definitely been playing, like, everybody on the other team's really good. My
Yeah.
team, not so much.
What about you, Dan? Have you been playing it still at all, or?
I've kind of hooked in for a couple matches pretty much every day. It's still good. I mean, the weird thing is that a lot of this, you read about on the internet, and I've talked to some people that have gotten it, and everyone always kind of plays with their friends.
Yeah.
I have only ever played, like, I played a few matches with Ikuel.
Yeah.
And I played a couple with Devin, and I find that game's really confusing when you're playing with multiple people. And so I just kind of I'm enjoying Titanfall, just kind of running around. I played a couple with Staggerman as well.
Yeah.
On the launch day there. But I just kind of enjoy parkouring around and doing what the fuck ever, whether we're winning or losing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
I've had
kind
some
of biased
really
for that
amazing
game because it's fun no matter what. You
Yeah.
know.
I've had some pretty amazing matches, but I've also had some pretty brutal, crushing defeats where no matter what I do, nobody's doing like hard point objectives or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
Well, I find if I usually try and hold a single hard point,
Yeah.
my team can kind of take care of attacking and maybe holding the other ones, so long as I am just me am taking care of that one, and hanging from ceilings can really help with that. But I pretty much exclusively play hardpoint. I've never even tried like Pilot Hunt
Yeah, I haven't tried Pilot Hunt either. Last Titan
or Capture the Flag. I
Last
haven't-
Titan Standing is apparently really fucking fun. I've played that a few times with Dustin, and that has been a blast.
Is that where you
I've
just
tried
start
that
in a
once or
Titan?
twice.
Yeah, you start in a Titan, and then what happens is it's kind of like games where you don't.
It's round based.
Yeah, it's round based, but you
Oh.
don't respawn. So what happens is that
So it's CS style.
it's like CS, except for the fact that once your Titan explodes, you can still eject and then be running around as a little dude. So it's whenever the other team's Titans are dead, not when all the pilots are dead too. So
Yeah.
you can kind of, if you want, you could actually eject out, be a pilot, and then just kind of roam around and try and like C4 dudes or hit them with your rocket launchers and stuff, and have your Titan kind of roam around. But the AI on the Titan's probably not that smart, and it might die, and then you're just like, oh no, like it's really interesting, but it's also kind of, yeah, I don't know, it's just really cool. It's
do you respawn if you're like a pilot, or is
if
it
you're
like
no
a-
if you're a pilot and you die, it's over. So what you kind of want to do is you want to kill a Titan, but then you want to keep an eye on where the pilot is going to eject, so that you can take him out, so that while you're fighting like another group of Titans to make sure that the other team loses their Titans, that there's not like a pilot rodeoing you or hitting you with missiles or mag launcher grenades from like across the map or something. Like it's really interesting, but without the right coordination, you can just get like stomped by like 5 Titans turning a corner and just blowing people away like one at a time. But it's really cool. It's neat. It's like Hawken, but a little bit more arcadey, I guess. But it's pretty cool. I like it.
That's something I want to go back to. Is Hawken actually?
Yeah. But
Yeah, see, I think I'm actually going to hold off on
Titanfall.
Yeah.
So for me with Titanfall is I managed to get to Generation 2. I think I'm like level 30 something in Generation 2 now. And so far, if ever I'm going to let's say I had the ability to hop on it and play solo, I don't, because not that the game is crap that way, but I just don't. It's not that I hate it, but I just don't have fun when I'm playing solo. Like
Like you'd rather play with
I'd
Dustin?
rather play with Dustin. I'd rather play
That's the
something
weird
else. Or,
thing. I think I'm the outlier here. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoy playing that game on my own, and I find it especially hard to play with other people.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everything is always so hectic
yeah.
that you're never really like playing with the other people, anyways. So
You're
So-
just in the same match kind of thing?
yeah,
So I want to. The weird thing though is the one thing that I wish that game kind of had, like, I know it has ranks where you level up, you unlock things, but I wish it had like some sort of rank system like Halo 2 or Halo 3 did, where you kind of had like a true skill rank that you kind of tried to play better to get your rank up, and if you lost, you'd go down and all that stuff. I wish there was something like that, just because Capture the Flag, whenever the past few times I've managed to play it this week, I've always been with a group of either 3 or 5, or no, like 4 or 6 people or something, where it's been like Dustin, myself, like Nunu, I don't know, a few other people from the channel. I can't remember names, like Ripley, let's say I'm just gonna name drop here. Beauty and
Cliffy B.
Sure, no, just like it's just 6 people. And whenever the weird thing about Capture the Flag is, I feel like when I play Hardpoint, we try to communicate and we try to plan stuff out, but it's so much harder because I don't know, it just doesn't feel as competitive-ish. And I haven't really played the other modes too much. I don't play attrition because I don't really like it. But when we play Capture the Flag, there's like this intense sort of competitiveness, I guess. Like when there's like 2 of us running the flag and trying to get it and bring it back, while there's like 3 or 4 of us defending, or like one dude being in the middle trying to like be the person if the flag drops, picking it up and running it back and stuff. There's like, I haven't played a game recently where you're trying to pull something off, you're trying to communicate, but it ends up being you guys yelling like, "Oh, I'm coming back, pick it up!" And then like somebody picks it up, and you're like, "Oh shit, I'm trying to respawn and come!" Like just excited yelling this. Like, when we play Counter-Strike, it's there's no real excitement other than like, oh, that was a really sick kill or something. But like when I used to play Halo and stuff, there'd be like yelling for like either capture the flag or even deathmatch and stuff. Like there's just be intense shit happening all the time. But whenever we play capture the flag, like it's either us crushing and we're laughing about it, but whenever we have like those intense matches where shit's like going back and forth and like we're about to bring it back and then like somebody caps it at our base and like kills our dude bringing it back instantly and then just back and forth craziness of us yelling, it's that competitiveness
really
is
evenly matched.
Yeah, when it's evenly matched and you're really trying really hard and there's good communication going on, that's really fun. But when the match is over, other than gaining levels, I just feel like it kind of like the game is super fun, but there's no incentive. There's no like, you just kind of play another one and you keep going. And I don't know. I feel like there's something definitely lacking. But
my big thing here is that I just can't get behind it if they're not going to include an offline mode.
Yeah.
Because that screws me. Like me personally, like I know the reality is that I'm probably a minority. Actually, I don't even think I'm a minority here.
No.
Because I know that a lot of people are complaining about it, but for me, it just I'm not gonna.
Here's the thing specifically about Titanfall is that there is literally no point in playing that offline because it is a 100% multiplayer game.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is like I don't get why they couldn't have just included a bot mode.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that because I prefer to play with bots. I'm just saying that because there are times. So if I'm not connected, I can't play a game that I paid for.
Yeah.
For me, it just gets under my skin, especially
That's not what the game is, though.
No. I get it. I get that the experience is supposed to be behind playing with other people, and I completely understand it and even support it. But at the same time, there should be an option for me to play it offline, considering they added bots and they did all this stuff. I don't see why they made it so difficult I shouldn't even say difficult. They just didn't include it. They didn't give people an option to play offline.
So also,
that's not what they were trying to create.
No, I know. I know full well that they were like they wanted to create essentially a Call of Duty multiplayer killer is what they wanted. I even understand their rationale. Like their rationale, they're saying we know that most people are just going to skip the single player anyways, so they didn't include a campaign, right? Or they tried to do some weird pseudo like online campaign or something, which is also passable. But what I'm getting at is that I just don't understand why they couldn't have just thrown in some sort of like they already have like those dumb little bots or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the little what are they called? Spectres, I think.
Spectres and grunts.
Grunts, yeah. Why can I not just play with those idiots? I know they're stupid and I know that it's not a representation of what they want the game to be, but at the same time I should be able to. That should be my choice, not theirs.
So what I think, I'm gonna not disagree, but like what I think is if they would have put a bot match, I think it wouldn't have been as good. It would have taken like a lot of testing
the game just wouldn't have been fun.
Yeah.
Also.
But the thing is that I'm gonna agree with you, Kumar, is that the fact that you can buy this game and if you don't have an internet connection, it won't even let you get past the main menu to even do the tutorial, which doesn't require any online. Like even something as simple as that. And what they could have even done is if ever you're offline, you could play the tutorial because at one point in the tutorial, it tells you to like survive as long as you can and kill as many as Titans as you can before like this training mission thing is over. Like even doing something like that offline would have been at least something to do to be like, oh, I kind of want to play Titanfall, but my internet's dead or something. At least it would have been something.
I bring it back to what Dan said earlier, like how he just kind of loves running around and shit. I'm in the same boat. I love the movement in that game. Like the way that they've put that all together in terms of how you can actually get around is awesome. And if I could just do that running around, just mindlessly gunning down grunts and specters, I would love to be able to. Yeah. But again, like I said, like I'm in a position where whether it be for work or travel or whatever, there are times in my life where I do not have a connection and I would still love to be able to play that game. Yeah. Just to move around, just to run around. Like it's just a really cool looking game and I love the art in it and I just can't. Unfortunately,
there are other games for you to fill your time with there, though.
No, I know.
Maybe this game isn't worth $60 because of that.
Yeah,
but it's still an incredible game and it's incredibly fun.
Yeah, I don't deny what it is at all, and I completely understand what they're trying to do, and I really hope that this ends up letting them do what they want to with the entire franchise, which I'm sure it will. I mean, they sold like crazy, right? So. Yeah. I can't wait to see what they do next. I'm a little bit worried because there was news that that EA is going to be publishing from here on out, I guess. I don't know what the relationship was beforehand, but I know that every time EA starts publishing something, they just screw it up.
Well, they published this one too.
Well, this is an EA partners thing.
Oh, yeah.
But I was going to say, like, wasn't it
technically Titanfall's an indie game if you really want to get down to
it?
Yeah. So, like I said, like, isn't it wasn't it more of a partnership capacity that they were involved in?
Yeah, for sure.
So this time, what people are saying is that they're going to be kind of taking the reins on the publishing. And I attribute it almost like I look at what they've done with, for example, and this might not be the right example, but
Everything.
what they did with Plants vs Zombies 2 really pisses me off.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that that's the route that they're taking with all of their games, and they're going to do the same thing with this.
Honestly, I would say Plants vs. Okay, just to do a side thing, since you mentioned Plants vs Zombies, the route that they're taking with like Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare is kind of the most
awesome?
un-EA thing ever.
Okay.
The fact that it was $40 is like, okay, to do a quick little thing to compare it to Titanfall, I kind of wish Titanfall was a little bit more like Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare. And the reason behind that is that Plants vs Zombies has like a ranking up system, let's say shittily, for you as like your stats, like to have a plant level or whatever, depending on how many challenges you've done. But there's also the added thing of like customization where you can kind of make your plants look different, or you can unlock different things to make your plants do different things. I wish Titanfall had something like that, considering that I paid $40 for Plants vs Zombies. Granted, there's less maps and less actual stuff, but anyway, point is, with Plants vs Zombies though, the fact that it didn't monetize anything, like you can't buy those packs with money still, and it's been maybe like a month almost now, and they put out their first DLC, which added a new map, 6 new character variant things, more customization stuff, and another game type, and for free. They're just like, fuck it, let's just put this shit out. That kind of seems like surprising. I don't know.
They're
like,
taking a different route, I guess.
yeah, they're taking a different route, especially with like PopCap, considering they just put out Plants vs Zombies 2, and that was super like it was free, but there was so much stuff you could purchase. There was so much
It was
incentive
riddled with microtransactions.
Yeah, with microtransactions, and just to see how they're kind of doing that with Garden Warfare, especially on the Xbox One, where like most of the launch titles like Rise or Forza or all that shit had like tokens and boosts and all that crap, and then Garden Warfare comes out as like a Xbox One exclusive / 360 exclusive, and it just doesn't have any of that shit, even though it totally could have. It's just like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right, yeah, maybe doing a bit better,
redeeming themselves a bit.
Not to mention putting out a season pass for Titanfall and having it only be $25 instead of like the 50 or 40 that fucking normally season passes are. But
yeah, that's true.
It still remains to be seen what's going to be on those.
Battlefield, right?
Yeah.
Like Battlefield is 50, I think.
Yeah, 49, 40.
Yeah, it was 49.
49.
Yeah,
Yeah, so 50.
The Titanfall season pass is just supposed to be 3 map packs.
Yeah, so there's that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I was gonna say only time will tell, and we're probably realistically 2 years out from a sequel, anyways.
Yeah.
So
what's
I'm sure things change.
What's good about Titanfall though is not to say it's shit or anything, but like as much as we are getting bored of it now, because of the good taste that it left in our mouth, where we've kind of every time we play it, we do still have fun. It's still really awesome to play, and playing with friends is great. There's none of that like Call of Duty, like man, that fucking last match was shit, or Battlefield where like your stats might disappear, or the game's gonna crash, or just like that the random
I've never
crap.
had a bad match at Titanfall.
Exactly. So
I
even
feel good every time I play that game.
so like months down the line, say we're not playing this anymore, you could go ahead and like, say we could theoretically play together somehow. If you were to be like, yeah, you'd be like, oh, you want to play Titanfall? Like, fuck yeah, okay, I feel like playing Titanfall. That sounds great. So it won't ever be garbage unless something horrible goes wrong. But at least it's a good game. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you guys have all said that they've gotten the balancing right. So
yeah, the balance feels weirdly, amazingly right. But yeah,
sweet.
Titanfall. It's weird. It's really good, but weird. I guess it dies fast. They need more stuff. I think when a map pack comes around, it'll be fun to get in there again and play for
Adds
like a
a
week.
little more life to it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But yeah. Y'all play anything else?
I've played a bunch of shit too.
Cool. What'd you play?
Soms, are you done? Kind of thing. Like, was there anything else you wanted to bring up?
No, go ahead.
So I played some more Dead Nation.
Oh, okay.
Apocalypse Edition.
Has that ever crashed on you, by the way?
It has once.
Okay.
But I feel like it was a network error on my end. But I'm still not entirely sure because the game errored out just after it.
Did it
So, for
delete your
example,
save?
like, I got an error message about the network, and then right after that, it just kind of died.
Did it delete your save though?
No, my save was fine.
I'll have to try it again then. I've lost my save 3 times that
but
game.
It's been kind of pissing me off because a lot of the matches, like the one time that I played with Dan, our connection was perfect.
Yeah.
And we didn't have any like major lag or whatever. We were kind of having a good chat, and it was fun and it was great. And I thought that I could replicate that.
With
I was
randoms?
horribly mistaken because
Here's your problem.
yeah, Dan's a better bro than a rando. And so, anyways, like the game's just been it's been shitting all over the place because the connection, I guess, with people in the States just isn't strong or whatever. Maybe there's server issues, who knows?
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it just hasn't been what it once was, or what it was that one time rather. I am sure it could still probably be fun if I got to play with one of you guys again, but for now, I think I'm throwing in the towel with that one.
That was only a 2-player co-op, right? Right.
Yeah.
Plus, it was free, which is always nice too.
Yeah, it's still something that I'm sure I'll end up being able to check out or play again some other time. But for the time being, like, I mean, there's
I feel
better
like
stuff to play.
it is a perfectly cool free game.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
absolutely.
feel like it's like I don't really want to actively go and play that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, this is cool and it looks good and it's a game. It's
It's good for like the hour or something you're gonna play it, and then you're ready to move on to something else, or you just find something better to play.
yeah. I think it could have maybe had some, again, Riccio was saying having better leveling stuff or some sort of better progression.
Yeah.
early.
I thought the progression was going to carry over, but it doesn't. It's like tied to each campaign or to each mode, and it's of that play session. That's it.
That's even worse. But even then, the
Oh, no,
progression
actually-
is just like buying guns, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
I like the fucking Uzi that you gave me at the beginning. So
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, I thought that was the case where it doesn't carry your stuff over because I got really pissed because I mean, again, like I said, I got kicked out of a match and I thought that I was gonna lose all that progress.
Yeah.
But when I jump into, like, even if I connect with someone completely different, like if I go into online and I try to connect with someone, it'll still keep all of my progress in place.
But that's if you're trying to run a campaign, right?
Yeah, like if the only time that it doesn't do that is like you were saying, if you switch modes, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, like, if ever you complete the campaign or you like restart it,
Mhm.
it's not like I guess what I was
There's no
looking
Game
for.
Plus kind of thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, that I don't know, but I just mean, like, I wish it would be something that would carry over into everything. So you'd play the campaign, you kind of level your dude up with better armor and stuff, then you'd move into like the survival stuff and see if you could last a little bit longer, earn a few more points, like if it was like an overall thing, or if it carried into everything, I guess.
Mhm.
But out of curiosity, I mean, it's not the greatest game, but it does have co-op and stuff. I think it's $15 if you were to buy it off of PlayStation Plus. But had it not been free, would you guys have picked it up?
I would not have.
Okay.
No, I probably wouldn't.
I wasn't. The only reason that I even checked it out, the only reason that I even played it, is because like Dan was online and
Yeah.
I was on Skype with him, I think, and like it was just. It's like he's saying, it's a perfectly good addition to Plus.
Yeah.
And if you've got someone to play with, then it's fun. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good enough time, and like I said, it's a
I had more serviceable
fun.
game.
Yeah, I had more fun just chatting with Dan than I did playing the game, and like there was kind of some funny shit that happened in it, and it was, like I said, it was just a good use of that. Like we played for probably an hour and a half, I think,
Yeah, that sounds right.
and I was happy with it. So it served its purpose.
Okay.
What else did I play? I played some more Flower on the PS4. I finally have gotten half decent at the control of
Okay.
it all. I
Yeah,
don't
how does
like
that
motion
handle?
gaming. I really don't like motion gaming at all. But I feel like on the PS4 it works really, really well. I didn't entirely enjoy it on the Vita because I feel like when you're
Yeah.
moving, I don't like moving the screen around. Like it's a
Yeah.
good good game on the Vita. Don't get me wrong, but when you're moving that screen and like it just, I don't know, sometimes you'll get like a weird angle or there'll be glare in a certain angle, and I feel like motion gaming when you're moving the screen itself isn't a good idea. That's just my preference.
You make
I
me
guess.
realize that, like, whenever I played Flower on the, this is gonna be a bit more visual people watching the stream or watching the video version, but whenever I used to play Flower, there was a few times I'd want a 180, so I'd like flip the controller upside down and aim it at me and then keep turning.
Mhm.
Trying to do that on a Vita where there's a screen you have to look at that you're also tilting sounds like probably a horrible experience.
Yeah, it's not,
Yeah, but that's no good.
Yeah.
not
You're
the
like,
best.
oh shit, I gotta, like, you're ducking underneath it and stuff. Like, I don't know.
And see, you run into that a lot actually. Like if
Yeah.
you're kind of playing it the way that they want you to, really, really organically and like flying around wherever the hell you want, and you run into that probably more than you should.
Yeah.
So it's still, like I said, it's still fun on the Vita, but I feel like the PS4 is the way to play that game if you're going to play that game.
Or PS3.
I know a lot
PS3
of
was good
people-
too.
Yeah, I can imagine it was probably very, very similar.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people have called it just like a tech demo.
Yeah.
And it is a very different game. I won't discount that or deny it in any which way. It's a very different game, but that's what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as what we just said, like where Titanfall didn't want to be, like it wanted to be a connected experience. So
Yeah.
so be it, right? It's a different thing. It's what they're set out to do.
What
So
I like about Flower or any game that was it? Is it not From Software? That's Dark Souls. What is it? That game company.
Yeah.
What I like about their games is that sometimes you look at it like when you first look at Flower and you're just kind of like, oh man, this is totally a tech demo, and you're playing it, and it kind of seems like it's nothing. But it's really interesting that as you're playing it, that it does make you still able to feel like emotions of like a rush of like not like adrenaline, but being something intense, even though you're just a pedal flying like along a highway or something stupid.
It's got great atmosphere.
Yeah, it's just there's still like a good sensation playing that game.
I love
And
the soundtrack, by the way.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
And it only
amazing.
gets better until it's done, and it's like, I remember finishing Flower and going back to play certain levels just again to re-feel that same feeling and hear that same music, and yeah, I like Flower.
They did a
I love
good job
Flower.
with it. I enjoy it. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I played some more. Actually, played and beat Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Oh shit! Okay,
That game had a smile on my face the whole time.
good.
It's pretty much what I expected. Like I went in there with certain expectations of what that game was going to be like, and I feel like it delivered on that. It's not supposed to be some crazy awesome, like change gaming kind of experience, right? It's fully aware of what it is and it does it well. So I had fun with that. I tried to go back and play like there's a bunch of side missions, right? Like they took I guess like a GTA kind of approach with respects to how open worldy it is.
Mhm.
But again, I feel like it's kind of weird to navigate that map, especially after having kind of played through games like GTA and Saints Row and other open world games. I feel like it doesn't work as well as it could in terms of just navigating that open world map. Or maybe I'm not far enough into like unlocking certain things to really enjoy it, but
Okay.
I'm still gonna go back and I'm gonna play it some more, and I'm sure it'll be fun. A lot of the side stuff is pretty hilarious because Deadpool ends up being the like narrator. It's essentially like him telling a story that's happened.
Okay.
So I won't spoil anything here.
That's
isn't
why the
story
Deadpool
related,
game is so good.
because I'm guessing he talks the same way, right?
Is-
So
Is he voiced by Nolan North in the Lego game?
I'm not sure actually.
I'm
Now
gonna
that
look
you
that.
mention it, I'm not sure.
Hmm.
But anyways, it was kind of funny. Like he rips on everyone. By the way, like he talks shit about everyone. So when he's introducing a particular story, like like I said, I won't spoil anything, but I'll give you an example. Like there's one that involves who's like that agent guy from Shield? Is it Carson or Carlson or what's his name?
I'm not sure. I've never seen Avengers.
Do you know who I'm talking about? Somps or Dan?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't
He's like
remember.
that. He's like the main. What is it? Coulson? Coulson, yeah.
Bolton.
So there's a side mission where you get to, and again you're playing as multiple characters throughout the entire game, right? And in this particular mission, you're playing as Agent Coulson and Doc Ock. And so
Nolan North is Deadpool in this as well.
Can I ask
So,
a little
like,
thing? Is this the same game that Dan that you were playing on the PS4 or?
yeah, it's that one that
It
you
is-
guys like never played a Lego game and went like, wow, this looks awesome.
So I feel like there's. Oh no, the other one is Lego Movie. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. Keep going. I knew there's another Lego game that came out on the PS4, but continue.
yeah, so he introduces the premise of what's going on
Okay.
and how there's a giant mess that Dr. Octopus made, and he has been commissioned by Shield and such to clean it up. And so Deadpool's reaction to it, first and foremost, is he's like, man, these guys are so dumb. Like, how do they do this? Blah blah blah. Like, and he proceeds to rip on them like you wouldn't believe. And he does this to everyone. So good guy, bad guy, he doesn't care. He doesn't discriminate at all in terms of what
That's
they've
Deadpool.
done. Or,
That's
yeah. So
amazing.
even I think there's even one point where he talks about how Iron Man saved the world or whatever. And he's like, oh, big deal. I saved my cat. It's like, you're like, what the hell? And so just the shit that he says makes playing through those side missions so much more enjoyable. And then seeing his reaction afterwards too, because he introduces it, you play the actual, like the story of it all, and then he concludes it saying like what happened afterwards or how things got wrapped up. And it's a cool little addition. Like it has nothing to do with the story for the most part, but there's enough substance there that it's just cool to see another character well represented in a Lego game like this. They used the property really, really well. So it's been a fun game.
Cool.
Well, the Deadpool game was fun because of that character
Him?
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the gameplay is nothing to write home about, but
Mhm.
you play it to enjoy that game.
Hear all the dumb shit.
hearing his shenanigans, I guess.
If you want to play that, Kumar, I have it on Steam thanks to MCP. So
Okay,
it's from my library to you or something.
fantastic. I also finished Sly Cooper Thieves in Time.
Ooh, what'd you think?
It was good. I enjoyed it. It's a well done and I said this even while I was playing it. It's a well done platformer. I enjoy it. I'm going through and kind of collecting all the crazy treasures and shit, doing all the side stuff.
You're playing on the Vita, right?
I am, yeah.
You should.
I saw it being played on a PS3, and I was like, I can't believe this. there's no way I would have been able to go from PS3 to Vita. It's so much better on the PS3.
You should load your save to the cloud, download it on, because you bought it digitally, right?
I did, yeah.
Buy or download the PS3 version. Then
But here's the thing, though. I can't download the PS3 version
why not?
because when you buy it, if you bought it on the PS3, you would get both versions. But if you bought it on the Vita, you would only get the Vita version.
Oh no.
Oh, that's
Because the Vita
brutal.
version's like half the price.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Kumar, I'm gonna download it on my PS3 at some point. Then you come over and you bring your Vita, and you
Yeah.
locally connect your Vita to it or whatever wireless connected, and then
Yeah.
it pretty much your Vita screen turns into what you're seeing on the PS3, except for in X-ray it tells you where all the collectibles are.
Seriously?
Yeah, so you just run right to them,
Jeez.
get everything.
That's so broken.
It's amazing. You mean?
It's awesome. So finished that, enjoyed it. Thought the story was well told, and the characters are likable for the most part. What's his name's voice pisses me off. Bentley's voice bothers me sometimes,
Yeah.
and Murray annoys me for the most part.
Murray's
but
voice changed like multiple times, or the guy started smoking, stopped smoking, started smoking, and it's like his voice kept changing.
he
but,
just, I hate that he's always referring to himself in the third person. He's always like, oh, the Murray.
Yeah.
That pisses me off. It just gets to me. I've known someone who talks like that, and they drove me crazy too. So,
Well, Riccio enjoys it.
but other than that, though, I really like kind of moving around. Like just the movement, the fluidity of the game is fun, and they did a good job. Like I said, they did a good job with the story. So you actually have a meaning or a reason to go through it, and it's well told. And I love the little cutscenes. I wish there were more of them because those are well done too.
Yeah.
Other than that, I also finished SteamWorld Dig.
I have to finish that on PC.
So what is that game? Can you
SteamWorld
explain
Dig
that to me?
is, I want to say it's. Have you played what was that game called? I Dig It.
On the
Did you ever play
iPhone?
that game? On the iPhone, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Somps, you know what I'm talking about then? Like you played that
Yeah.
game? This is the exact same, except you're not running around as a miner with like a big drill thing. You're actually the miner. So you're not using
Oh.
machinery. It's you doing the digging and upgrading and all that stuff. So when you start off, a little background on the story here. So you're coming to this town, I believe, and I don't know if I'm gonna say all this in exact detail, but you come to this town because your uncle has requested that you come out and take a look after his mines. And you get there and some shit's happened and things have changed or whatever, so you kind of move forward from there. And as you dig, you basically end up getting deeper and deeper, right? But there comes a point where the pickaxe you're using or the tool you're using isn't going to be sturdy enough for you to dig through a certain type of dirt, right?
Okay.
So what you end up doing is while you're digging, you end up finding treasure that's buried, and this treasure is like uranium, or not uranium, sorry. It's like zirconium. It's a bunch of different elements, and I believe some of them have like weird techie names.
Well,
And then you'll find, like-
it's like irononium or like whatever. In
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll find
Yeah.
gold and silver, and there's a couple of different like there's emerald and ruby as well. So there's a couple of more rare gems as well. And you have a certain limit of what you can carry, and
Okay.
you bring it back to the surface, and there's a what's her name? Dorothy, I think is her name or something. Dan, do you remember her name?
In the town? Yeah, Dorothy sounds right.
It is Dorothy, right? So, anyways, there's this little lady robot running. Everyone's a robot, by the way.
Okay.
And she's
Are
running
you a
little
robot?
shop. Yep, you're a robot as well. Robot. And I don't remember your name, but I think you're just Steambot. But anyways, you end up selling this shit to her because she gives you a price on it all, right? And then I believe her dad is the first salesperson you meet. And you go over to her dad, and he's got a shop as well, except his shop doesn't buy this stuff. It sells you upgrades for all of your equipment and for you as well. And then as you continue to progress further and further, you unlock further and further upgrades, right? And the coolest part about this, I feel like the real draw here and what's gotten people most interested in, is the fact that it's very Metroid-like in the sense that you'll come across upgrades that you don't buy, that you just find, and they're permanent passive upgrades. So, for example, one will let you, and I won't spoil anything here, but the first one you get lets you run really, really quick, and there are certain blocks that just break under you if you're walking on them. And so if you walk on them, you'll just fall right through. But if you get this running ability, then you can just go right over them. And so it opens up new parts of the world, and you can go deeper, or you can find a different little like loot place or whatever, or a different cave, cavern, whatever. And that goes on and on and on. And there's several upgrades. I want to say there's probably 10 that you go through.
Yeah, there's a lot of games like this, and it's just pretty much dig, collect stuff, go back up to the top, sell it, improve yourself, keep digging.
Yeah, and go deeper and deeper.
Super Motherload for the PlayStation stuff is that as well.
Okay.
Same type of game.
And the cool thing is that there's actually so there's 3 distinct worlds as well. So as you go through, you come across different environments, kind of thing, and it's cool to see what those are like. I feel like
I had just gotten to the second one when I was playing on 3DS.
Oh, okay.
I don't even remember what it is though.
Yeah, you should play through it. It's fun. It's a really, really short game. Like I said, I finished it, and I think my final time was like 6 hours and 8 minutes or something. And that's doing everything. Like I had gotten every little mini objective, and I explored every like cavern, and
Did you buy everything?
I did, yeah. So I mean I was completely maxed out on everything, and it was well worth it. Like I enjoyed it, and I'm gonna play through it again. But I feel like I really do wish that there was a little bit more to it. It's fun though. Stomps, did you buy it? I don't remember.
No, I don't have it. I've seen it before, and I'm really interested in getting it. I just wanted a decent explanation of what exactly it was.
I'd say it's a good fit on the Vita. It's probably better on PC.
Okay.
Because I know that it's on Steam as well. So depending on what your preference is, for me, like I said,
It's actually super good on 3DS because the map's on the bottom screen the whole time.
Oh, that's perfect actually.
On the 3DS, it's actually on sale, I think, for this week. It's only $4.
Yo, you're only $4.
Okay, well. I threw something somehow.
Okay, whatever.
It's like on my test.
So, like I said, finished that, enjoyed it, gonna play it again. I also finished Thomas Was Alone.
Oh.
That took me 3 hours or something to get through it, maybe even less.
Okay.
So
You gonna buy the DLC?
probably not. I've kind of had my fun out of it, and there's other stuff that I want to get to, and there's other stuff I want to finish. So I had a whole lot of fun with that. Riccio, I feel like you've probably spoken about this already on cast.
I haven't finished it though, but yeah.
I feel like it's less realized than it should be, because I thought, like, when I went into it, you know how games always do that, right? Where they introduce you to more and more complex puzzles as you go through, right? This is true of every genre. I mean, every type of game, all these different things. And I thought that the puzzles in this game were going to get really serious, and they were, like, for me, it was just a cakewalk. Like I didn't there isn't a single, actually no, that's a lie. There was one, the very last puzzle, or sorry, the second last puzzle. So 9-9, level 9-9,
Okay.
or 9.9 is the only level throughout my entire time that I actually restarted.
Oh, wow.
Because I screwed it up. That was it. Everything else was a cakewalk. I got through it all really, really quickly, and it was straightforward and simple. And so I feel like they probably could have made it a little bit more complex.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's not to say that I didn't enjoy it. Like I loved the narrator. I loved how the pacing was, and I loved that it actually gets you to think. And it's cool. Like the characters are squares, but you enjoy it.
The narration is what really I really enjoyed.
That, and even the soundtrack. The soundtrack was awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was a whole lot of fun for anyone on the fence about getting it. I mean, it's on Plus right now if you're a Plus subscriber. So
Is it
absolutely
both
worth
the Vita
playing.
and the PS3 version?
Yep.
It's cross-buy.
It's cross-buy, yeah. So I mean, you get
Wicked.
to play it on either or. It's a really good fit on the Vita too, because like I'd play like a full level, like from, for example, 2.1 to 2.9,
Okay.
and then I would just suspend it and then come back to it like maybe another hour or two later
Not bad.
and play some more. So it's a good fit there too. And last but not least, before I get to that, I finally finished up with Smart As. So
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Done
aren't you
with
a
that game.
smart as?
never touching that shit again. I'm done with it. Not going back to that ever again,
Why? What?
because it just makes me mad.
Oh, okay.
Because
Wow.
if you get a bad
Fuck that
score,
game.
you feel like such an asshole if you get a bad score, and it makes you feel dumb. I don't like it. It's mean.
And it like permanently records that dumbness.
Yeah, exactly. And then
it
it
makes
spits
you
it in
hate
your face.
yourself and improve upon that dumbness every other time you play. Yeah.
So
I've still not loaded it up. It's just installed.
You should try it out.
I would just delete it.
No, Riccio, I'd say for sure try it out, just so that you understand that. Yeah, and especially considering you've played through Dark Souls, so you know what it's like when a game shits on you. I feel like you're probably better prepared for this than I was.
For being shit on. Is that what you're...
Yes, exactly. So you should for sure try it. I would say play through the daily training maybe 3 times, just to see what like an accurate score would be, at least according to the game, and report back. But
should I do
up.
this for next week?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Do it. It's only going to take you like they're 5 minutes a pop.
Okay.
So it'll probably put you through like the tutorial, let's say 10 minutes or something, and then 5 minutes for that, 5 minutes for the next day, and for the third time there, and let us know what you end up getting.
All right.
My highest was 93.
Okay.
Dan, do you remember what your highest was?
I have no fucking. I don't even care.
Okay. So that game I'm done with. And last but not least, I completely 100%ed the Stick of Truth.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I finished that less than a week in, so I finished that on day 5.
Was it good?
It was fantastic, and I
mean,
enjoyed
like
it
the
all.
100%. Like, was it worth? Do you feel?
When did that game come out, by the way?
2 weeks ago.
No, but do you remember the date? Was it the 4th?
Yes. Yep, the 4th.
I got that platinum on the 9th.
Wow. All right.
5 days I finished that whole game twice, and I loved it.
I know the game was amazing, but how was it a chore to go? Was it
100%ing it was short. Yeah, it was. It's one of those classic games where once you kind of go through it, all the collectibles are pretty much a joke.
okay?
But the reason that it was so much fun is because, and especially if you are a South Park fan,
Yeah.
you end up finding. So, for example, one of the ways that these collectibles come into play is that you have friends that you collect, right? I want to say there are 120 friends, and all
so.
120 of them are characters that you will if you're a fan of the show, you'll recognize them from the show. And some of them are so ridiculous and even like really, really small references to certain episodes, and you'll just laugh. And so like I had a blast going through it all, and I didn't know who was going to be next kind of thing. So
yeah,
it was
exactly.
fun. And then the stupid pin Pokemon were just ridiculous.
There was a lot of those that were hidden in areas that if you missed them, you couldn't go back to. So that's why I was wondering.
I found
like,
that out the hard way, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
I missed it on my first playthrough, and then I realized which one I missed. Because it like if you go to the map and then you like there's an option it gives you to see every collectible, every piece of equipment, all
Where
that stuff.
it is, yeah.
Yeah. The equipment can be a bitch too, though, if you're going back to get it all.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like there's 3 of them, like 3 sets that you can miss.
Okay.
Or sorry, 2 sets of equipment and then 1 weapon that you can miss.
Okay.
And so if you have multiple saves throughout the entire game, then you're fine. Then you don't have to worry about anything. But like for my first playthrough, I just kept overwriting the same save.
Oh.
Which is probably the dumbest thing to do. But
so I gotta ask you, because if you miss some of those, does that mean that you kind of 100%ed it throughout multiple playthroughs, like multiple saves, or did you go back and get it all in one shot?
No. I played it through twice.
Okay. Is there a new game plus, or do you have to?
No. Unfortunately,
so
not.
you
like,
went through it a second. Oh man.
Yeah, because there's I wanted to though. Like I was gonna play it through because certain choices you get to make that'll change that I thought were gonna change things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they don't.
Yeah.
All they do is they just change the outcome at that particular moment of the game. I thought it was gonna play out completely differently. But
did you try it on hard at all, or did you just go through it on normal both times?
No, I played it on hard. I played it on hard the first time through.
Yeah. I don't remember what I did. I think I went on normal, but I don't know.
Well, I remember hearing that a lot of people were saying that it was too easy.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, I'll just play it on hard then. Like that's why they have the option in there.
Yeah.
So, no big deal.
That game was so much fun. I think that's still my favorite thing I've played this year. Like
yeah, it was a very, very good surprise because I know that a lot of people were shitting on it a little bit or like just really, really worried about it.
Oh yeah, it kept getting pushed back.
Obviously because of its delays and yeah, exactly. And I mean they've been waiting a long time and again I feel like I mentioned this earlier where Marvel Lego Superheroes or Lego Marvel Superheroes rather does a really good job of using the property and the license.
Yeah.
South Park Stick of Truth does it 100 times better.
Oh man.
And to date, I have never played a game that's made better use of licensed content. ever.
I think it took me like 13 or 12 or 13 hours to go through it, and the entire time I was sad when it ended. I was like, no, there has to be more content.
Well, should I? I kind of want to say this, but I kind of don't. There's absolutely room for a sequel, and anyways, right? Naturally, because I mean, everyone who's ever seen an episode of the show knows that there's never an ending per se, right?
It was honestly just like another season of the show. Just
yeah, exactly.
straight
I
up.
was gonna say, but I feel like the way that they close things out in this game makes it so much easier for them to pick up wherever they want realistically, and make sequel even more over the top and more ridiculous.
Oh yeah. The funny thing is, like, I haven't been watching South Park for the past few seasons, maybe. But what was it? Was it the Boxing Day? No, it was Black Friday. That like 2-3 episodes that they did.
Yeah.
That was the only episode that I've ever seen them dress up the same way that they did in Stick of Truth, where they had like the mage outfits and like.
They did it. Actually, the first episode they would have done it in was the Fellowship of the Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen that episode, I strongly urge you to watch that episode.
But the thing is, they never did that like persona of them doing like elves versus whatever often.
Yeah, they did.
But was it something that was recurring constantly, or was it like the Lord of the Rings and then it was the Black Friday?
It was just Lord of the Rings was the first and only time that you saw it, and then Lord of the Rings after that. Okay. Or sorry, Lord of the Rings and then the Black Friday saga kind of thing.
Okay,
and
so
it's funny though because and I'm actually going to tell you exactly which episode that is because it's shocking as to how long of a delay there was.
Yeah.
Between the first time they showed that and then the
Black Friday one.
And the most recent time. Okay, so that episode was 6/13.
Wow.
The Return of the Fellowship of the Lord. Sorry, they make so much fun of it.
Yeah.
The Return of the Fellowship of the Ring of the Two Towers is what that episode is called.
So that would have been like.
So that was
season 12 now.
6, and then no, my friend.
That's 16 though now.
This was in 17.
Yeah.
So
holy shit.
Black Friday was 1707. A Song of Ass and Fire was 1708, and Titties and Dragons was 1709.
That's so true. So it's so crazy that they built the whole game based.
11 seasons, man.
But it's crazy they made the whole game based on that like little.
Well, see, it's because they. I want to say that they had been receiving like a lot of feedback from whoever, right, from fans and I guess even fellow producers alike.
Yeah. Saying
that people loved seeing them take on that sort of a persona kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like initially it was more of just like a one-off kind of thing because I did the same thing with the Warcraft episode, right, where they kind of took on like this fantasy kind of role.
Yeah.
But people loved it. Like both those episodes are two of my favorite episodes.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't seen the Fellowship one,
I think I have, but I can't remember it, so I'll probably have to go back and watch it if I can.
Yeah, that one's awesome. And I feel like anyone who is familiar with pop culture at all will appreciate that episode.
Oh, man. We'll appreciate this whole game, actually.
The game's awesome too. And mind you, I also feel like it's very much a fan service.
Yeah.
So, like, as much as I would love to see Dan play this game and see his reaction to this game,
if he doesn't
I know
like South
full
Park.
well that there would be so many things that he would miss, even from the.
Yeah, I've seen like maybe like 6 episodes of South Park ever.
Yeah.
So what I found really cool, but also really weird about playing through the South Park game, we didn't get to talk about this last week, so I think you cut out before I got to it, but is that I've only watched like the first few seasons of South Park. I kind of dropped off at one point, and then I just hadn't picked it up, so maybe I missed like 6 or 7 seasons of the show. But most of the tie-ins that they did in the game seem to be a lot of older references. Like a lot of stuff from the episodes that I had watched, and maybe there were some things from the newer ones that I didn't pick up on, but there were so many of them from the older episodes that was.
Well, I will say this: I love the characters, but the show is very much hit or miss in terms of the quality of it, kind of thing. So I'll be the first to say that. Like, there are a ton of episodes that I think are absolutely stupid, like that just have no place in the South Park universe, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there are so many others that I absolutely adore and still watch to this day. So I feel like the show did a good job of capturing, I feel like it's almost like a best of album, right? Like if you're looking at compared to music or something.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those, and rightfully so. Like they took a lot of stuff that was normally stupid, like that in the show I just hated its appearance.
Yeah.
But it made sense in the game.
So
I feel like the game is better written and better presented than a lot of the seasons.
Oh yeah. Well, it's all the experience now mashed because like they worked heavily on this game as well. So
they were deeply rooted in the development. So
well, just think of it. Is that like what do they take? Like sometimes like a week, let's say, to make an episode, and once they're done with it, they move on to the next one. They can't go back and fix it. Being able to work on a game for multiple years, like you can make something funny, but then if you think of something better, you can go back and fuck with it and make it even better. Just like there's, I don't know. It was amazing. If anybody enjoys South Park, I highly recommend just going to play through that. I know it's a little expensive, maybe it's $60, but like, it's probably my favorite thing that I've played this year so far. It's so fucking,
there were so many parts that straight up had me like almost face palming.
Oh man, watching me cast that, there's like I'd back up and be like, no, they're not gonna do this, and then he move on. And you're like, oh my god, this is happening.
Like I said, I really really want to see Dan's reaction to playing it, and I want to see Somppi's reaction to playing it.
Yeah, for sure. But South Park, really good, really goddamn good. No matter what system you play it on.
Absolutely,
it's gonna be awesome.
It's a game that even if you've got an older machine, like an older PC, your PC will absolutely support it. It's not an effects heavy game.
If it stutters, that's not the point. The writing and whatever is just
and even just the locale and I feel like it's the most authentic game I've played in so long in terms of how true to source it stays.
Yeah.
So I'm really really happy with that game, and I sincerely hope that they find a very easy way to bring a sequel to that entire universe.
DLC or something. Just
I hope they keep it going. And I feel like now it's going to be easier for them to do it, considering they've already gone through like the shenanigans of initial development and whatnot, and the growing pain associated with kind of learning the industry and the ins and outs of everything.
Well, they had done stuff in the past, but it was just mainly like them leasing it out, wasn't it?
South Park,
like they were never involved because they essentially just licensed it out and that was it. But in this case, they took a very very real approach to development in the sense that they were involved right from the beginning.
You could tell that they worked on that because there's no way in hell anybody else could be willing to go that far or go that messed up. And oh man,
absolutely. But see, again, like I said, I'd love to see someone's reaction who isn't familiar with the show, just because to them it must be even more ridiculous.
Yeah. Especially certain
You're going to lend that to me now, right, Kumar?
I actually sold it, but
oh wow, seriously?
Wow. Dan, I showed you my library, didn't I?
I was going to say I have
a. That way. My plan was to have Stuart play it and me sit and watch him because he actually really likes South Park and wants to play that game. And I said, well, I'll just watch you play the whole thing, so I'll get the jokes, but don't also have to play it.
Then 2 months. Summer sales.
Or I'll just play it on your account.
Okay, well.
Because Kumar's a fucking lying piece of shit.
Yeah. No. I have good news for you. I actually do have a PC copy, which I can add to my Steam library or even actually potentially even gift to you yet. I don't know, but I will find out shortly, and worst case scenario, I'll have a solution one way or another.
Okay, cool.
So don't worry, I didn't sell it. I didn't pull a Riccio on you here.
Whoa! What did I? What?
Do I need to remind you about Fast and Furious? You jerk! Such a jerk.
I was excited. Anyway, you play anything else, Kumar?
Nope, that's all. That comes to the end of
Watch a
mine.
bunch of Nicolas Cage movies without me too, Riccio? Did you
No, I haven't done that. That I haven't done.
Worst friend ever.
Random stuff that I played this week. Lots. Kumar talked about stuff. South Park I finished last week, but we talked about Titanfall. I haven't actually played much. I continued my way through Dark Souls 2, and I finished it. Oh, Super Echo Dan. Oh, okay. I finished Dark Souls 2, which is kind of insane because it took about, I think it was 8 or 9 casts of 4+ hours, because every cast here and there, like on the weekend, was like maybe 6 hours or something. I sunk 40 hours into that game. I was level 126, let's say, or 120 something, maybe 130 something, and I only died 132 times or something. I'm saying something a lot.
Is that a low number? I don't have a.
That feels like a really low number. Like there were some casts where I'd go through for like a 4-hour cast and die like 6 times. And I'm like, something feels wrong. But yeah. Either way, I finished the game. It took about 40 hours of time. There was about 3 or 4 hours of that, which was me grinding, but it wasn't really grinding. I was just trying to get some medals for one of the covenants in that game, which is kind of like basically a guild or something if you want to compare it to like Oblivion or something like Skyrim. But yeah, so let's say 36 hours of. I don't want to. Okay, the game was really amazing, but I want to say compared to something like Dark Souls 1, it was a lot more forgiving. It was so much fun to play. I can't get enough of games where you constantly feel like you're discovering something. You never know what's going to be around the corner, or if you see something that you've already seen before, it might be more powerful. It might have like a different move set. There might be more of them, or something you thought was just a boss before is now like 2 of them coming at you, and it's crazy. And you're trying to figure out how to deal with things. That stuff's really awesome. But I gotta say, compared to Dark Souls 1, there are a lot of points in Dark Souls 1 because there weren't many bonfires. So okay, I know we talked about it last week, but the way Dark Souls works is you kind of go exploring and you find bonfires, and in Dark Souls 1 it took maybe like halfway through the game before you could just teleport to each bonfire or whatever. But in Dark Souls 2, every bonfire is teleportable right from the get-go. You find anything, you can teleport to it. Every bonfire is a fast travel point. And there's
You have to find them?
You have to find them. So they're
Okay.
usually like either along the path, or some of them are hidden behind walls that you have to like, oh, it's an illusionary wall. You go up to it. It's like Doom. You hit fucking X on it, and then it's like, oh, it slides away, disappears, whatever, vanishes, and you're like, oh, a secret. And that shit's really cool. But yeah, it was kind of weird because when I was playing Dark Souls 1, for example, as much as Blighttown was a like frames per second mess and everybody complained about Blighttown being garbage, an area like Blighttown in Dark Souls was terrifying because you'd kind of go down into these deep, dark depths and you'd be like, oh, I have so many souls. Except for you could level up. Okay, in Dark Souls 1, you could also level up at every bonfire. In Dark Souls 2, you have to go back to the main base to kind of level up, similar to Demon Souls. But anyway, in Dark Souls, there are moments where I would leave the bonfire to go search for the next boss, to go search for the next bonfire, to just go and explore, to just go like see what's next. And I get to these points where I'd be fighting so much stuff, and I'd be like, oh man, I have like 30,000 or 40,000 souls on me now. Like, do I want to keep going and hope that there's going to be a bonfire on the corner, or do I want to run all the way back and just use these to level up and then try to do this again? But it seemed like in Dark Souls 2, and it's not like I'm not complaining about it. I still enjoy the game, but I feel like in Dark Souls 2, you kind of explore, you'd find a bonfire, you'd kill like 7 or 8 things sometimes, and you just kind of turn around and you're like, oh, there's another one. So the sense of kind of being afraid and the sense of like you not feeling safe and kind of going off somewhere a little bit too far never really happened. There was a few moments where it did, but yeah, I don't know. That's just a random little nitpicky thing. But anyways, Dark Souls 2 was fucking amazing. Like it's almost like if you're asking somebody who's new to the series if they should play Dark Souls 1 first, I'd recommend it just because it would get you into playing a game like Dark Souls and you'd learn kind of how that stuff works. But Dark Souls 2 seems so much more user-friendly, I guess. Like the starter zones seem to really ease you into just like a few types of enemy types and kind of helping you level up and learn little like kind of a little bit easier bosses. Then as you go along, like there's some mechanics that you have to figure out where, oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to do next, and oh, I missed a ring at some random stupid place, but it kind of opens up and becoming like a more difficult, more Dark Souls-y style game, but it starts off really smooth. But yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm really getting at. I enjoyed Dark Souls. I played 40 hours of it. I'm like brain dead to it, and I'm ready to go into New Game Plus and play more of it. But
Are you gonna go invade other people?
I've been considering it, but I don't want to. So there's different covenants in the game. The current covenant that I'm in is I don't know what it's called in this one, but let's just say Sun Bros. It's
I really want them to come up with one called Sun Bros now.
yeah, but
Join the Sun Bros. We're pretty sweet.
So it's a Sun Bros. So what it is there's covenants in the game, like there's the Brotherhood of Blood or the Something of Blood, which are okay, I'm just gonna dance around and shit. So Something of Blood, or I don't remember what the name is. They're like the PvP one. So those ones you get
Blood
to
Bros?
invade. The Blood Bros. Let's call them the Blood Bros. So people call people call them the Bloods. Okay, there's another thing that goes against them. They're like the Brotherhood of the Blue or something. People just call them the Crips now or something stupid. There's so much
Seriously?
dumb shit going on right now. Anyway, the Bloods, what they do is they actually have to PvP each other, so they duel each other. I did a whole bunch of reading once I beat the game. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna start reading shit. So they fight each other, they PvP, they duel. So when they duel, whoever wins gets a red eye orb, which allows you to go and invade some other players. So pretty much you have a covenant that you join that guild, and then you have people PvPing themselves constantly to then gain something to go and fuck over other players. And then you have a covenant, which is the Sentinels of the Blue or something, which if you get invaded, if you're a Sentinel of the Blue, so you can only have one covenant as you, like for you as at a time. So say I'm a covenant of the Sentinels of the Blue or whatever the hell the name is, and someone gets invaded, it'll like rip me out of my game and throw me into someone who's being invaded to be like, defend this guy. You have to fight them back. So, and you can have two of you joining to help fight off like one dude who's invading. There's some really cool shit.
So you constantly have the blue Sentinels pit against the
exactly
T guys. Yeah.
Then there's like the Sun Bros, which were who I was with, where you can get summoned into the game. With the way the game works is you put your you scribble something on the ground, like your summon sign, people can summon you. If you're a normal dude, you're a white phantom that comes into to a friendly person's game. If you're a Sunbro, you're a golden person. You're literally like just chromed out and gold, not chromed out, but like you're just this big golden glowing guy, which is fantastic.
Cool.
Which is fantastic because the armor I had, which was the Smelter's armor, it just looks like you have an anus on your face. So like when I'm emerging out of the ground, I'm just like this fucking golden ass.
Wait, is that the text message that we got from Dustin?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was really cool. But so I would just go into people's, like, I'd just put a summon sign next to a boss and then be like, okay, someone's gonna summon me. And my dude was kind of super decked out, so I would just kind of go in, annihilate them for them. But what's really interesting is that if you were to do boss runs with somebody in Dark Souls or in an RPG, you'd kind of be with your friends like, oh, let's do it again. But the weird thing in Dark Souls is that every time I put my summon sign down, if I'm gonna help someone with a boss, if I beat it, that person can't redo that boss. And for me to sit down there for an hour, let's say, and get and help out 30 people, it's kind of cool because it's like 30 different people all experiencing that boss either for the first time or for like the 15th time, super frustrated, and helping people get past a part. And it's not someone just redoing it or whatever.
Yeah.
There's this kind of
not just grinding it because
it's just like
they would be able to summon you.
Exactly. It's kind of cool knowing like, oh man, I just helped, like I might have helped 30 and you can tell because certain bosses you go in and it plays like a cutscene. But then if you've done it before, you kind of go through the fog gate, you enter the boss room and the boss is already there and he's fucking charging you. So there's no intro. It's just kind of like boom, you're into it. So every time I'd summon into someone and that was the intro, like just me like going in, the boss is already rushing us and we'd finish it. Sometimes you'd have people who are on mic like, yes, like just like super excited about
voice.
Yeah, they added voice chat in this one, which is kind of awesome. But hearing people get excited or just like if you can't voice chat, usually people will start like rolling around, or if you keep switching out which weapons you're using, your guy's hands start like just jerking off and like things are like appearing in your hands, so people start like flipping out or like dancing.
And they're doing that if they don't have a mic, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool to know that you're kind of like helping people, and that was.
Does it do anything for you if you do that, or is it an XP boost, or like what exactly?
So killing the boss again. Say you're in your own game and you kill a boss, and the boss gives you 40,000 souls. For you helping as like a Sunbro or as a Phantom, you get maybe like 10,000 or like 9,000. So you get a lot less, but you do get a little something out of it. And if being a part of the Sunbro Covenant, because that's the whole point of it, is to go and help people, to engage in jolly cooperation, as they put it.
Is that what they say?
Yeah.
That sounds so ridiculous.
I know, it's amazing. But I get little Sunbro medals, which I can go and throw onto a shrine, the Sunbro Shrine. And it'll give me like, it starts off, gives you a shield, then it gives you a sword, then it gives you like a spear or something. But
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Now, Riccio, I watched this video of someone in the Rat Covenant. And so
Rat
I
Bros.
guess that covenant lets you pull people into this like rat's maze when they're like walking by the area into like your game.
So here's what happens. You first get into like this is a little spoiler, so if you guys don't want to hear anything about Dark Souls, maybe like click off your sound for a bit. I'm gonna try to I'm not gonna spoil any bosses or whatever or anything. But
I'm just gonna talk about the nature of this rat thing.
Yeah.
I saw a video.
So there's an area in the game that's kind of like a cavey kind of location, and you kind of fight your way through it. You go to it, and at the end of it, there's a little rat that you can talk to, and you can join the Rat Covenant. So what happens is while you're going through this area, there's these traps, and if you are part of the Rat Covenant, you can go back to those traps and turn them on and be like, oh, okay, I want like poison to be shitting out of this thing. I want like spikes to come out of this wall. I want to open this gate to have like another enemy come in. if you're part of the Rat Covenant, and I think you have to wear the ring, sorry, you have a chance of, if somebody comes in and he's not part of the Covenant, so anybody starting the fucking game and going into that place can just be going through your maze that you've created. So it's kind of interesting because they'll just kind of go through it and be like, why the fuck is there now like another enemy there? Or why the hell is there poison all over the floor? Like, what the fuck is happening? Now I have to deal with this. And
so in the video I watched, he was wearing that ring and it actually pulls him into his game.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So I don't know if you can be seen, but
he was wearing another ring that made him look like a white phantom.
Yeah.
And he was like greeting them and saying hi and stuff and making them think that he was like a friendly phantom and just fooling all these new people. And then the second they turned their backs, he'd kill them.
That's mean.
And that was the whole thing. And it was just this fantastic thing. He did it something like 15 times or something like that in the videos each of the times that someone joins the game. But I think someone that got killed by him must have started putting down like a sign or something.
Okay.
Because as it goes on, people start like getting wise faster. It was fascinating to watch.
But that's
social experiments, right, Dan?
Yeah.
So, yeah, stuff like that's really cool. Like, there's so much interesting stuff in that game, and like not knowing that stuff going in is really interesting because you kind of get sucked into a game. I mean, it could fuck up your experience if some dudes like made like this ridiculous maze of just death.
Well, that's basically what this guy was doing. He was making this area impassable for a good while because he'd fool you and then he'd kill you.
Yeah, what an e-bully.
So
he's just like Riccio.
Oh. So there's another covenant that's also really awesome, and it's the Belfry or the bell tower, something. And what happens is that there's two areas in the game where these are side areas, so you don't have to go to them. Once again, sorry if this is semi spoilers, but there's a bell somewhere, okay, and you have to get to it and ring it. And the entire purpose of that covenant is the second you enter that area, it spawns in two people, like two actual players, to stop you from getting to that bell to ring it. The Belfry Guardians. So, if you can get in, ring that bell, and survive people, like, and if you kill one of them, it'll spawn like another guy in. Like, it'll just keep fucking giving you players like, you cannot ring this bell. Like, it's all about defending against that. And if you can get past it, then you're treated to being able to fight an optional boss if you want to, or getting something. I don't know. I didn't. And
then you get to become a Belfry Guardian?
So here's what happens: is you enter these areas, and there's a dude sitting there, and he's like, get out of here, or do you want to join? And you can either join and then be a part of it. But the funny thing is, even if you join as be a part of it, if you try to go ring the bell, it'll still try to stop people from. It'll still spawn people to try and kill you. But it's just interesting. Like it's cool that stuff that you would normally probably deal with in games like that, where it'd be like an NPC or something spawning in, to have like other players in the world to just make their purpose in the game not even going through it anymore, just literally guarding a fucking bell, or being like a rat king and making people have like the worst time going through certain places. And it's pretty cool. I don't know. The Dark Souls 2 is filled with so much crazy shit. But even knowing all that stuff, there are so many hidden things in that game. There are so many like little mechanics and stuff that I won't even talk about, because figuring out a lot of that stuff is really cool. Like the Covenants, the reason I'm excited to talk about the Covenants, and the reason I might have said a little bit too much or something, is just because in Dark Souls 1, I never dabbled into it. And I forget, I don't think there was any Covenants in Demon Souls, but I never bothered with them. I kind of just knew they existed, but I never, like, I heard of the like Dark Wraiths or something in Dark Souls 1, and I never bothered to really get into it. And in 2, doing stuff for the Sun Bros and reading about the other ones and being excited to maybe become one of those Belfry guys, or do all that stupid shit, there's just this whole nother level of that game that just seems so awesome. And
is that in part due to its accessibility?
Yeah, it seems like there's a really easy way now to keep track of all the Covenants and know what you're kind of doing in this one, and to join them. And then again, there might be some that I don't even know, but everything was just kind of a lot of people that you'd walk up to and be like, hey, you want to join my Covenant? And you kind of already knew what you were getting into. Sometimes in Dark Souls 1, you just kind of talk to someone, they're like, join Covenant, and you're like, you're just standing around like a random zone, like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? So that stuff's kind of weird. But yeah, it seems pretty, either it was more accessible or I went out and looked a little bit more into it. But man, it's just surprising that a game like Dark Souls can have so much content in it. And I spent 40 hours and if I hit New Game Plus, it changes bosses. It'll change things. Like, it's not just like Dark Souls 1 where it's like the same run, just slightly harder, and people give you more souls. Like, there's just... It changes a shit ton of stuff. Dark Souls 2 is such an amazing game. For anybody who has always heard about Dark Souls being such a hard game, if you guys want to skip on Dark Souls 1, do it. Because even if you do Dark Souls 2 first, if you go back to Dark Souls 1, you'll probably still have... It doesn't change much. It's still really amazing. But, oh man, I want to get more people who... maybe we're interested in a game like Dark Souls just to go and try it and play it, because it's such a fucking awesome game. Like, it's so good, especially now when there's a lot of people playing, or when the PC version comes out in April. Like, jumping in when it's new, so that you sit there and you're like, fuck man, I need help. You put a summon sign down and it's like, boom, you're summoned into a game. Or you make yourself a human so you can summon other people, and there's just signs everywhere, and you're like, yes, I can fucking get help, I can do whatever. And that stuff's really neat. It's cool whenever the game's kind of popular right now. So it's
Do you say that you are playing through on New Game Plus right now?
I haven't started it, so not a spoiler. Dark Souls 1, when you finished it, you kind of would end the final boss and it would credits, then you back to the main menu and it would just New Game Plus you. In Dark Souls 2, you can kind of still roam the world, do anything you've missed, and I don't know how, but you do something, and then you can choose, like, okay, I want a New Game Plus now, and now the game will get harder. So that's kind of interesting. So right now I'm just kind of, there's a few bonfires that I've missed that it tells you kind of like which ones you've forgotten or which areas you haven't gone to. So I'm going to try to do like all the optional bosses before I New Game Plus it. But yeah.
So does that let you collect newer equipment before you go New Game Plus?
You can, except for I think the equipment that I have right now is already pretty top tier, and I've upgraded a shit ton of it, so I'm pretty decked out. But yeah, it's such an interesting game. Despite me saying that bonfires always seemed so close, there was always those times where you'd kind of turn a corner and be like, oh, there's got to be a bonfire nearby. There's got to be a bonfire nearby. And then you just kind of like look around and you're like, there's no fucking bonfire nearby. And then you just start panicking. And I feel like this time, because I've played Dark Souls before, I felt a little bit more ballsy. Just be like, fuck it, guys. We're going for the boss. Let's do this. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is because I'm like not a veteran, but like because I've experienced the way Dark Souls is, and I went into this one kind of prepared. But I don't know. I'd like to see what you guys would think. I would love to see you guys try Dark Souls 2 or play Dark Souls 2 or something. I don't know. It'd be...
I'd be interested. I've got the first one, and the only thing that's really stopped me from playing it is that, for whatever reason, PC doesn't seem to run it well. I think I'm just gonna kill it and get rid of the DS fix and reinstall it and play it vanilla or whatever, because some weird stuff was going on with that.
So here's the thing as well, is I was talking last time that I wasn't sure how the frame rate would hold up through the entire game. I can't speak for the Xbox 360 version, but I played through it on PS3. There's no Blighttown moment. There's no portion of that game where the frame rate dips to unplayable levels or ridiculousness like in Dark Souls 1. That game was like pretty much a smooth 30 through the whole fucking thing. It was...
Wait, Dark Souls 2 is?
Yeah, and I played on the PS3 and it ran amazingly. Okay. So, yeah. Dark Souls 2 is really good. I recommend people who are just interested, being like, I heard it was super hard, I don't want to, just jump in. Just do it. It's easy enough to smash your face against this one and still come out on top.
You have to be up for that sort of game.
You have to be up for it, yeah. The certain things they made a little bit easier, like they'll despawn certain enemies, but it's a lot easier to get into, I think. But it's such a... Yeah. For somebody who maybe doesn't play games that often and trying to jump into it, it might still be incredibly hard to get into. But for people who just stayed away because they heard it was really hard, but maybe you're okay with games, jump in, because it's pretty fucking good. Yeah. Dark Souls 2. I'm ready to go for New Game Plus. I want so much more of it.
Playing this week, or is that pretty much dominated?
That's pretty much dominated. Oh, there's something else that I played that I wanted to bring up. Oh, okay. So, what did I finish earlier this week? I think I finished Stick of Truth at some point, and then, or something this weekend that I took a break to play some random games on my cast. And I played a co-op game that we were supposed to play, Dan. Bientôt l'été. I'm sorry to...
No, whatever.
I
know a lot in that game.
So I played this with Nunu. She's a cool dude from the channel, and didn't know what I was getting into. It's a 2-player. Well, it's a single player-y but multiplayer chess portion of the game. I played this just because it was the most disturbing but odd fucking game ever, because pretty much the game is you're a dude or a chick. You load in, you're like, are you a male or do you want to be a female? And Nunu picked the dude, so I picked the chick. So, or no, he picked the chick, so I picked the dude, just so whatever we could get into the multiplayer stuff. Okay, and you just walk along a beach, and like legitly just walk slowly among the beach. And as you're walking, it'll pop up just sentences like, "I love you," or "You touches the body,"
What?
or like, "I would like another glass of wine. You're beautiful. The wind is nice. Let's go outside. You know why I'm here." Just like weird sentences that you'd whatever, like just stupid shit. You're like, I don't know what the fuck is happening.
I don't.
And then as you
Me neither,
get
Dan.
as you get these words, you go to a house, which then you sit down at a chess game where it'll match you up against anybody else playing, which we happen to be the only people playing, I'm pretty sure. So it matched us together, and you have chess pieces, and you can put them wherever the fuck you want on the board, and depending on where you put them, it'll repeat those sentences, so that you can have like a conversation with the other person.
So what's I didn't catch what the point of this game
Is that the game?
That's
Did you
pretty much
just-
the game. The best part is that next to this chessboard, there's a an ashtray and a wine glass, and you click on the wine glass. You're just sitting there, and it's just like you're each taking turns. So you can either move the chess piece to say a sentence. You can either click on the ashtray and have a smoke, or you can click on the wine thing to drink. So you can just like, I would love to have played that game when it first came out, when people didn't know what was going on, just to do like the weirdest shit. Because me and Nunu sat there and just kept hitting like smoke, and the screen would just slowly fill up with like smoke and like just unable to fucking see the chessboard. And then you'd move, and it's like, "I touches the body," and then you just respond with just weird shit like, "I agree.
Richard, this game sounds
I would
dumb.
like another glass of wine. I love you." Like just weird shit.
So
And
are you a new official now?
we no, but the funny thing is that the English was really busted up, but as it's written in English, all the words are written in English, but it's always like a super French from France guy just reading it like in French.
Oh, so it's
saying it.
narrated.
English?
So it sound no in French. So it sounds like super like romantic almost, but the sentences are so broken up that it makes no sense.
Wait. Is the game actually in French with like English
Yeah.
subtitles?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay, all right.
But yeah,
But you're saying, as someone who knows how to speak French, the
it's-
sentences are fucked.
It was really French from France, but it was like none of the sentences that you could speak were like sentences. None of them were cohesive enough. It was so busted. It was.
Has it just been localized from somewhere different?
I'm not sure. All I know is that our date was
The
pretty much.
title of the game is in French, so
All I know is our date was like, "I touches the body. I love you. Have another glass." And we sat there smoking for like 15 minutes. And it was like, "I have come. I know why we have come here." And then just like drinking wine and quitting.
That
Which
is
other-
really
is this
dumb.
on cast?
Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna have to clip that and like put it out somewhere because it was so fucking dumb. But if you guys ever want to experience the weirdest shit with a friend, just buy Bientolité for no reason, and I don't know, be super drunk or something when you play it, and you'll have a great time. But yeah, I don't know. I want to bring that up because it cracked me up so fucking hard. Like, it was extra funny because I understood all the French, which was awesome, but it's weird. I don't know. It was weird. Anyways, smoking the blowjobs. I don't know what the hell Shanghai is talking about. I was saying some ridiculous shit because the thing is that we were talking on Skype, and then we'd shut up when we'd get to those things, and you just hear us like giggling because we knew what we were about to choose and what the other person was about to hear, and it was just, it was dumb. I'll have to show you. I'll have to put a
Sounds
clip up.
fantastic.
I might actually try to cut that up and put that up on the YouTube. Like cut it up as in rip it out of the cast and just upload the part.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
Yeah. But anyway, that's all I played.
Sounds like it's time for news then.
It is time for news, which I obviously don't have much of again this week.
This whole year?
Hey, you know what sucks about Canada?
What?
PS4 is $50 more expensive.
But I have one already. How does this affect me?
If you want another controller, it's $5 more. If you want another camera, it's $5 more. if
Wait, so I actually saved money by not returning that controller?
possibly.
Awesome.
So there's that, which kind of sucks for Canada. All DLC for Guitar Hero, Band Hero, DJ Hero is currently on sale up until March 31st. After that point, it'll be gone.
Band Hero. Wow.
Yep.
That's a
called
game.
Band Hero?
Yeah.
What the hell
Yeah.
is Band Hero?
Yeah.
We used to sell that at fucking Future Shop. You don't remember that?
Yo, I was a
We
G
always
Hero
had
player.
stacks of it
Yep.
because no one wanted fucking Band Hero.
Oh, Band Hero.
Band of Brothers Hero.
It was a bright orange, green, and white box.
I remember exactly what you were
Yeah,
talking
so
about.
now you know what I'm talking about.
The mysterious box that I just never knew why it was there all the time. I never actually looked at it. I never read it.
Yeah, out in the middle of the fucking aisle.
Yeah, I just
Turn it.
acknowledged
Yeah,
that it was
it's
there
probably
and made sure
still
that
there. It's
I went around.
probably still there.
Last week and the week before that, I spoke about Battlefield 4's next expansion, Naval Strike, which apparently will be coming to people who have premium next week on the 25th? No, the 25th? I don't have that date up. I just remembered that it's coming out maybe in a week or two, still in March for that, if you have it on premium, which is 2 weeks earlier than everybody else. But they also showed a trailer for it.
So wait. They have the DLC called Second Strike and then a DLC called Naval Strike?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the
I
end
think
one
the
is...
third one's gonna be Strikey Strike.
No, one's just going to be the Strike, and then DICE is going to go on strike and stop making maps for the rest of the map pack premium. And then we're going to have to...
And then they'll make Band Hero 2.
There you go. Boom. And then fucking... They'll be picked up by Activision somehow and shot out backward. Oh, no, it's EA that does that. Anyway, whatever. That weird picture with the dead bodies and the... I don't know what I'm talking about. This sounds really creepy now.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Anyways,
are you talking about?
Naval Strike. They showed a trailer for it, and I kind of gave you guys a cool explanation last time where I was saying that for the Titan mode in Battlefield 2142, how you had to shoot missiles at the ship and you had to get on top of it, you had to see for it before it fell out of the sky, and you had to dive out as it exploded, and it was crazy. It seems like this one's the same thing, except for with boats. They really just showed missiles impacting on like huge like cruisers. I don't know what the hell they're fucking massive boats. That battleships, carriers. Let's say carriers, massive carriers, and it would like it seemed like it was taking down like AA guns and stuff, so people could get in, breach the hull, then fight inside as like huge gates are opening up, like floodgates of just like.
Wait, maybe it's a battleship then, because carriers are just like flat for planes.
They are flat on top, and then you kind of would go inside to get to like the engine room.
Yeah, aircraft carriers.
Aircraft carriers, I think, and then you'd go to the engine room, and you'd like it looked like they were planting C4s. In the trailer, they don't show them getting out. They're just kind of like it starts exploding while they're still fighting, but it seems like they're gonna capture. Or it looks like they're capturing the same feel as the Titan mode on 2142. So I'm actually pretty pumped to play that DLC.
If the end of every round is like the ending of the first level of Call of Duty 4, that's probably pretty all right.
Oh, that'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, but not only that, they're adding like hovercrafts. There's like a castle level where guys literally shooting cannonballs at like enemy things, which seems really cool. But it seems like it's gonna be pretty awesome. It's weird to see a Battlefield 4 trailer now that Titanfall is out and still feel like when you were seeing Titanfall, you're like, man, I can't fucking wait for it. It's gonna be so great. And then you see Battlefield, you're like, man, you know what? Battlefield is still pretty fucking sweet. It's not like it got.
No, Battlefield's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Well, for
Still
me,
has me
Battlefield.
captured.
Yeah, exactly. For me, Battlefield is like that's the console shooter that I can play with you guys, right? Because we've all got it.
Sorry, I got distracted by a hair on my head. That sounded really stupid. I'm sorry. Anywho,
I got distracted by a hair on my head. He says.
Sounds really dumb. But yeah. So, anyways, Battlefield 4's expansion looks pretty sweet. Certain games that use games when it was live, I guess, are slowly starting to disappear. AKA, Bulletstorm is now not available for purchase on Steam anymore because.
But how am I going to get into the Gears 3 beta then?
Oh, man. Gears came out, wasn't so good. Gears 3. No, Gears 3 was okay. Actually, I don't know.
It was amazing until it wiped my stats.
Yeah. And then they were like kind of half still here when you came here. That was weird. But anyways, yeah, Bulletstorm's no longer available for purchase on Steam. If you still have Bulletstorm in your actual list, you can still download it and install it. I don't know what's going to happen once Games Workshop Live is shut down. but I guess certain games. I don't know. Like they were
Won't be
saying.
able to hear Steve Blum say shit dicks or whatever he says.
Yeah, and the weird thing is that they said that also like Dead Rising 2 might not get a patch, and Dead Rising 2 off the record might not get a patch. So I don't know what's gonna happen with certain games for Windows Live games. Dead Rising games are pretty popular, so maybe those will get patched somehow. But yeah. Anyway, in other stuff, DirectX 12 news got put out saying that it should run things probably like 50%-ish better than the other DirectXs or something, based on, or depending on what hardware is. So the Xbox One's going to use that, so maybe things will start running really awesomely. But hardware that will be able to use DirectX 12 will only be announced or available in holiday 2015, I think they said. So we still got a little while before we get to it. Yeah, DirectX 12. Other stuff we mentioned, Free to Play is a cool documentary that Valve put out about Dota 2 and their international. The first international that they did that had a prize pool of $1.6 million. So go check it out. It's free. It's available on YouTube. It's available on Steam if you want achievements. But go check it out. It's really interesting.
Wait, there's multiple achievements?
Yeah, there's multiple achievements. There's watch the whole movie, then there's watch the whole movie with one person's commentary track, watch the whole movie with the other person's commentary track, watch all the special extra added things and the added scenes and all that stuff. Yeah, there's like 5 achievements, but really interesting stuff. Really, really, really awesome stuff. Really well made. Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls got a cool trailer.
Cool.
Yeah.
Those are amazing, their cinematics.
Yeah. Kind of super pumped for that next week. It's kind of coming up really quick, and I should probably pre-order it.
Is there any word at all on the on the console version at all? Yeah,
nothing yet. Other than it's coming. It's like the news we already knew, where it's gonna where it's gonna have the Diablo 3 and the expansion all bundled together. But yeah, I don't know. Probably summer, I'm guessing, or month or 2 or something. Yeah. But yeah, we don't know. Speaking of console stuff. The 360 version of Titanfall also got pushed back again to April 8th now, so 2 more weeks. Don't know what's going on with that.
I didn't even know there was a 360 version.
Yeah, exactly. Not too many people seem to realize that, but hopefully it won't get pushed back into oblivion and it will actually come out so we get to see how it actually runs on the 360, or what's different, or what have you. But anyways.
Hey guys, breaking news.
What's up?
It's 12:03 a.m. and Infamous is not yet available for download.
Oh,
it's not going to be available until 12 p.m. or sorry, 12 a.m. Pacific. That's why. So that's 3 a.m. Eastern.
Breaking news: my copy of Infamous shipped at 10 p.m. tonight. I mean, yes, 2 hours ago.
In 8 hours, I can go pick up my copy.
Exactly.
In 15 or 16 hours, I will know if I'll be getting it at all. If not, Monday. Which sounds super garbage. But anyways, other news things. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, the game that Dan was talking about that he picked up on the PS4. If you guys buy it on the 360, make sure that you have an actual hard drive version of the 360, because if you have a USB, it won't work. If you have the arcade, it won't work.
The Halo 4 multiplayer disc.
What do you mean? Oh,
Halo multiplayer disc had that like weird, like you need an official Microsoft hard drive for this run. Yeah.
Yeah. So the arcade models won't work with Ground Zeroes as well. So if you guys were stuck in that stuff, feel free to upgrade. I don't know. Hey, did you guys see that new PS4 update stuff?
Yep.
They'll be trimming HDCP, allowing you to possibly dim the light on the controller, as well as...
I want to see it shining back off my glass screen into my eyes. It's okay. You can.
I want it to be brighter.
It's funny because Jeff Keighley actually tweeted like, "Oh, they just said that you can turn it off," and then Shu Yoshida was just like, "I said dim."
I hate that. I hate.
Bitch, don't.
I love Shu Yoshida, man.
Yeah, Shu is awesome. I hate Jeff.
Okay. Jeff's not bad. I had a moment, where I spent an hour searching on the internet, listening to a podcast with him, like the Pointless podcast with Kevin Pereira and stuff, where they interviewed him and stuff, just trying to find out if I've ever heard him swear. And I couldn't find a single video or audio clip or anything until today, when there was a GIF that had like the subtitles or whatever, and it said that he was saying fuck, and his mouth was totally moving it. Could not find that video. If anybody can find a video of Jeff Keighley swearing, I feel like I need to get that somehow seen into my brain, because he talks too properly. I need to know that he's a human. Sorry, you guys. I'm weird. But anyways, that PS4 update's gonna be able to.
Kind of like the mainstream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Video games journalist, so he has to have that like PG speaking patterns.
Exactly. But
Dan, you're awesome.
subtitle gift. I'm sorry, Pedo. Anyways, yeah. So that update's gonna have some other stuff. I forget what the other features were. But you can share to a USB drive your clips and pictures and stuff. So yeah, that sounds pretty cool as well. I don't know if they're when that's due, but it's apparently soon. I was hoping that they'd fix more stuff, like maybe in my Astro microphone to work properly, but maybe that's my own fault for having a model that's like 3 years old. But oh well. Anyways, first DLC for Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare has also come out. It was just like a 900 meg patch for the Xbox One at least. It added a new map, a new mode, 6 new customizable stuff, and a few other things I'm not really sure about. But either way, it's free. Don't pick that up because it's just going to auto update. So go enjoy it if you already own Plants vs Zombies. And hey, you guys, Dan and Devin, who have Titanfall on PC, soon Titanfall will have 4K support on PC.
Great.
Because your systems can totally handle that.
Handle that, yeah.
Yeah.
I won't notice that it's running at 1 frame per 30 seconds.
So if you want that super amazing looking thing, yay! Speaking of amazing looking things, Division got a Snowdrop engine trailer to show how that game is kind of being created. It seems really awesome how they can build levels super fast and make them look as good and like atmospheric as they could.
Sweet.
It was, I don't know, like the way their engine works is they just kind of like would draw a building and make a building, and then they could like tie things like scripts to things to make things react a certain way really fast just as it was going, and it seemed really awesome. Anyways, the game looked pretty awesome from when they showed it at E3, and it looked kind of like too good to be true to now it's still looking pretty amazing. And they showed little things where like the doors in the cars could open, so I guess you sliding by and closing a door with your hand might actually happen, which is fucking crazy. But that's pretty cool.
What's the release on that, by the way?
They don't really have a release date on it yet. I think they said maybe I'm thinking of end of this year.
Never mind. Watch Dogs was May.
Yeah, Watch Dogs is May now.
And the Division just doesn't have one yet.
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe it's end of this year or something weird. But yeah. Speaking of Watch Dogs, though, they've also put out a trailer showing some of the PS4 exclusive stuff, the 60 minutes of content, as well as a suit for not Adam Jensen, Aiden Pierce, where he gets a white coat and a white hat because he's a white hat hacker and very clever. But I don't think people will be missing much if they don't get that 60 minutes of stuff. Apparently, it wasn't that good in Assassin's Creed 4, which I never actually played that extra minute stuff. And I never actually played Freedom Cry either. But yeah, I don't think people...
We talked about it before, but Freedom Cry is worth it if you're just feeling like some more Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, but I meant like the 60 minutes that you got for having it on a Sony console. I don't think it really matters for the Ubisoft games, right? There's like the Avalanche missions.
That shit's garbage.
There you go. So I'm pretty sure it won't be that great on Watch Dogs. Maybe it will, but
wear the hat.
Buy it on whatever console you guys want, or on PC. Do it. You're not missing much. But anyways, I think that's pretty much it for my news stories that I had lined up.
The only other thing, which talking about Assassin's Creed reminded me, is they leaked someone leaked some next gen only Assassin's Creed screenshots. It looks like it's taking place in like 1700s Paris or something like that. So.
And what was the subtitle?
I don't remember.
Unity.
What?
Yeah. Assassin's Creed Unity. With a U.
Oh. No E?
No. We're not involved. I feel sad. But anyways, that's pretty much it for news. So
not like our Wipeout team.
Yeah, that shit's really crazy. But yeah, that's it for news pretty much. I am not prepared. I actually closed the tab for releases. Somebody go ahead and load that up really quick. Richo's losing his grip on reality here. Slowly dying. Next week we've got Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls for PC. We've got The Witch and the 100 Knight for the PS3. Deus Ex The Fall for the PC, which actually already came out on Steam, so I don't know why that's on this list. Fez is apparently coming out for the PS3, Vita, and PS4. It's the next thing that's on sale for what is it? The games of
Oh, like
is it Play?
like
PlayStation
sale
Play?
one?
Yeah,
The spring sale or something?
yeah. Play.
No, it's not, I don't think it's spring sale. Actually, you're right. It's the Play one,
Is
whatever
it,
that
is
one
it
is.
PlayStation Play? So that's
I think so,
happening.
yeah.
And what else? There was something else coming out. No, never mind. Never mind. I thought that also next week was technically the start of the Elder Scrolls Online early access, but no, that's the week after. So yeah, pretty much Fez. Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, which is gonna be freaking fantastic, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Yep.
That's about it.
Yeah. Yep. So I was looking for the comments. Okay, so for questions and comments, if you guys have any questions in the chat, if you guys want us to read anything, let it be known right now. We're going to start with the YouTube stuff, and then the question we got on Twitter. So we'll go with the YouTube stuff. Let me refresh to make sure we don't miss anything. Sweet. All right, so starting with Chaz D. He says, what new power would you like to see introduced in video games? You guys?
New powers.
Um,
I feel like the newest powers that we probably get are out of like superhero games, like Infamous, for example.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool to see more stuff like what they did in. This is gonna sound dumb, but I mean, Lego Marvel Superheroes did a pretty cool thing in terms of being able to letting you be able to use all the different powers from different mutants and stuff. But it wasn't as realized as it could be. I think just having like a full featured game like that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of like what fighting games are.
I feel
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
I feel like a cool power, like a mashup thing, would be somehow a game that has like what Infamous's climbing is, like how you kind of snap onto things or can climb and like step on poles and kind of like walk really okay, but have the, I don't know if maybe this is an Infamous, I don't know, but like some sort of like magnetic power or way to like bend things so that you could be like running forward and then be able to like bend something so that you could have something else like to reach and like jump on, like a sign, like bend it down.
But
like
only if it runs at 60 frames a second.
Yeah, only if it runs.
If you do that, right? Yeah.
But no, like yeah, some sort of like Magneto-y thing mixed with like super parkour skills would be like a weird power.
That's next generation. I
Yeah.
think.
Like
Also, you've made me realize that I'm really fucking excited to play the next Infamous game.
it seems really cool. But yeah, I don't know, something I want something that would add on to somehow parkouring without making you just the ability to like jump and then fly like fucking whatever screw parkour. But it'd be cool. Be like, it's like if Titanfall had the ability to like rocket a sign to make it fall a certain way that you could then just use that as a wall to jump off of and climb. Like just something that you're changing the environments and parkouring. Something to add to parkouring. Maybe you could just pick up people's corpses and then use those as stepping stones to go up to higher places. That's a little dark. But yeah. Anything from you, Devin? Power? Devin's asleep now.
Yeah. No, my mic was muted.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I think games with you kind of got everything covered. To be honest with you, I'm not really good at choosing superpowers off the top of my head.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like games kind of go to that place already. And I'm not that creative to think of something new. Sorry, I'm copping out on this one.
I feel like the Fez power would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
You just walk around and you just decide to change the.
Everybody just dies around you, like perfect. Now I can jump up on this. I can blend in with the background. Yeah,
I'm actually excited to play that game.
Fez? Well,
Yeah.
you never played Fez. That's right.
Well, I mean I've played the first 10 minutes. That just
Okay,
had me more confused than I care to admit
perfect.
because of that weird error-ish thing.
Perfect.
But it's going to be exciting to actually play it through.
They should have a superpower like Honor Mine. That's our new game. I was going to reference the Rat King. Just the ability to make traps everywhere. Just have people be sad. Anyways,
I really want to play Spy versus Spy with you guys sometime.
Spy. What's that
Have you
other?
Have you ever played that game at all?
Yeah.
Any of you?
Oh, I like the NES version, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking like the original NES version.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'd love to play that.
There's a game that's coming out, or it's already out, or available somehow in early access. Spy Party, where one player
You
controls.
download like an alpha of that or
Yeah,
something.
one player is like at a dinner party, let's say, and he's trying to walk around and he's the target, and another player is just a sniper that can like see in from the windows,
Okay.
and the sniper doesn't know who the target is. So
Yeah.
you kind of have to like look at everybody and kind of get an idea of like, oh, who. I don't know if you're given like information like, oh, he has this kind of hair or he has this kind of thing or like.
No, it's literally like the Assassin's Creed type of thing where it's
Yeah.
like there's a bunch of the same looking NPCs,
Oh, okay.
and you have to like kind of watch the NPCs and figure out how they move, and like try and pick the human out from the crowd.
Yeah.
And the spy is trying to accomplish something.
Do a trade off or pick up something or scan something.
Yeah.
Or do, So it seems pretty cool. Man, you mentioned something. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention The Forest, which is a crazy ass game, a survival horror kind of like, I don't want to say Minecraft, where you can kind of like build some things. There's resources, you can kind of like build some defenses, some traps and craziness. But there's also some insane shit going on. There's a third trailer that came out. Just go look for Forest trailer 3. That shit looks insane, and they announced an early access date of May 22nd to be able to get into it on Steam. I'm scared to get into it, but I'm also so curious about that game that I'm probably going to jump in anyways and just be scared shitless and try and play it. But just want to mention that. That seems pretty
I
cool.
was gonna say, I think you've been through enough scary games that this shouldn't be anything different.
I feel like now I'm kind of self-pansing myself out when there's a scary game. Like, I don't want to play it, but then when I play it, I'm like, yeah, that was okay. I've played worse, or like, I'm kind of used to this. But, yeah,
You're
anyways.
seasoned, man. You're
Yeah.
seasoned. You're a vet at this stuff.
Just like Dark Souls, no, nothing will ever be as good as the first time. Anyways, moving on to the comments, we have Chaz D also saying, add me on League of Legends if you still play that game, and then he said his username, Achilles, which we will totally add. Because Devin and I are hopping on that all the time. Maybe I could use you for when I do my random 5s to slowly level up to 30, because I'm still garbage at the game. But anyways, other than that, we have F Viscit, which I think is F and Karma, saying, hey there, double intro. Also, Riccio knees all over this cast. Love it. So here's a few questions for you guys. First, if you were left with only one of your senses, which would it be and why? So we'll start with that one. If you were left with one of your senses, which would it be and why?
I think sight.
Yeah,
me.
sight.
think
I was gonna say sight.
I think sight.
Yeah.
Hearing, I mean, to lose your hearing would suck too, because I think I want to say that it throws you off in a lot of
Yeah.
ways. Like I have some deaf friends who try to explain to me what that does to your other senses and how it can impact you.
Yeah.
But I think not having sight, I feel like sight would be the one that would change your life the most if you didn't have it.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? I might even argue feeling would probably be one that I would want to keep.
Yeah.
If you can't feel anything, then I mean, that's
Yeah,
weird.
that'd be a tough one. I don't know.
For me, it'd be one of those two: sight or touch.
Because the thing is, there's a trade-off.
I
So if you
keep the ability to see ghosts.
sight would be the fuck, sight would be the best, because if you were to say you could talk, then you wouldn't be able to hear. If you'd hear, you wouldn't be able to talk. So those would kind of suck to only have one of those.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. What sorry.
Yeah,
What's the
what-
question? If you were left with only one, which one would it
Yeah.
be? So you can't talk, you can't hear, you can't feel, you can only see.
Would be
Yeah.
what you would say, yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, this is craziness. I guess for me, yeah, I think I'd have to say sight. then
Sight
at
would
that
still be, yeah. Because sight
Sight
you
would
could
still
still
do it
do
for me.
things.
point. Just so that I feel like if you still have your sight, then you can still manage the. I mean, not that it would make it significantly easier, but I feel like it would at
Well, yeah,
least be.
you're crippled.
coordination
either
wouldn't
way.
get-
You can't
Yeah, your
you might
coordination wouldn't get
function
it.
like you once did, but I feel like sight has the most workarounds.
I
for,
don't think there's feel. I think isn't it sight, sound,
No, there's touch is
speaking,
one of them.
smell. Oh yeah, touch, I guess. I guess touch does count.
Touch is one of them. You just named.
I
the
guess
other.
you couldn't touch, but you could still move, right? Like I'm not saying you're paralyzed, right? That's
Well, he's
where-
not. He's not saying you're losing a limb, right? All it is you just can't feel
yeah.
anything. So if I
Yeah.
punch you in the face, you wouldn't feel.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely go with sight, because I think having only one of the other ones, like if you could only talk, you'd want to be able to hear what you're saying. If you could hear, you'd want to be able to talk to people, and that'd feel like garbage. But being able to see, at least that wouldn't be so bad. You could still kind of speak via sign language. You could still kind of do some things, but yeah, I'd probably want sight. I'd definitely probably want sight. Sight's such an important thing of all the stuff I do. But yeah. Anyways, Other question. Second, if you could time travel back into the past and tell yourself one thing, what would it be?
Watch out for girls.
Me would be going back to when I was going to stream Cataclysm and be like, hey, Riccio, why don't you not play Drawn Together on your cast and get banned for 6 months?
So you don't get banned?
Yeah. That would be a fucking fantastic thing for me to stop. Dear God.
What was the question?
If you could go back in time and tell yourself one thing, what would it be?
Something about investing in something or other. Have lots of money.
Okay.
Also, speaking is not a fucking sense. I don't know what we're thinking about.
No,
Taste is a sense.
Yeah.
It's taste.
We're so stupid.
We're so fucking dumb. We're all really tired. It's midnight and 12.
No, I had it, and then you guys confused me, and then I had to look it up to make sure I'm not fucking crazy, and I wasn't.
It's crazy a sense because
yeah,
we all
you
have
still
that.
make me talk.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. That's not a fucking sense. You're right. That's like a thing. Whatever. I hope we'd still probably choose sight. I would probably still choose sight.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you could also speak.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
So other people would be able to hear you still.
That's true.
You kind of wouldn't know what you'd sound like anymore. You'd lose that over time. But
But anyways, yeah, I would tell myself the stream thing. I don't know about Dan. You said something with money. Kumar, you said what was it again?
Something with money. Yeah, that summarizes all my answers. So.
Well, I mean, as a joke, I was saying just watch out for the she-devils. Watch out for some of the girls. But no, in all seriousness,
and be like, don't. This list.
Don't.
This doesn't make sense. Watch out for this one. Forget this one.
Yeah.
No. I think in all seriousness, for me, I've made a shit ton of horrible decisions, and that's not to say that I haven't learned from them. But at the same time, I know full well that I would be in a position of much higher strength or whatever. I mean, and I'm saying this figuratively, of course, but I'd be in a much better position, I think, in my life had I not made some of these decisions. So I think I'd have to sit down. I wouldn't be able to answer this in a single shot. Like I'd have to sit down and jot out the list of dumb shit that I've done over the past.
Yeah.
And then make sure that I kind of weighed it out accordingly and then decided accordingly.
Yeah. What about you, Devin?
But Dan's answer is also very correct.
Yeah. What about you, Devin?
I mean,
I don't know. I probably wouldn't
right now,
do
so
my
if we had
4
more
years
money-
of university.
If what was that? Sorry, Devin.
This is like going back in time thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Probably would not do my 4 years of university. That was a waste of fucking time.
That's pretty brutal. That's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
And thirdly, if any game could get a remake, which one would you want it to be?
A remake.
Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
You've
Lego
answered this one a
Island.
bunch of times, eh?
Star Wars Rogue Squadron needs it. I need it. I need it.
I have a unique answer for this question.
What's up?
Disney.
I feel like there are enough new games that come out that personally I'm okay if older games are not remade. And I know this is probably contrary to what I've said in the past, but the reality of things is that you look at all these really, really cool little indie games that are coming out, and you look at all the cool AAA stuff that keeps coming out pretty regularly. I mean, they keep me busy enough. So
Yeah, that's
I can't pinpoint an older game. Like I enjoyed those games back in the day, and a lot of them still hold up even today.
You don't know it, but you need another Rogue Squadron.
I'll take your word for it.
Diddy Kong Racing on the N64 would be what I would
Are you
choose.
fucking kidding me right now? Is that what you chose? Are you serious?
I would choose that, yeah.
There has been other Diddy Kong racings.
Yeah, but not as good as the N64 one.
Yeah, Richie, why are you so dumb?
Devin, what about you?
I would say like a Lego Island, way back in the day.
Lego Racer as well? Holy shit.
Those were amazing.
Those
That'd
were
be
pretty
fucking great, man.
Those were actually pretty amazing, yeah.
Lego Racers holds up, FYI.
Oh, wow.
Played it like semi-recently, like in the last year. Finished the whole thing.
Oh my god.
Unlocked everything. Not the time trial lady, but everyone else.
Nice. And it says...
Rocket Racer ain't shit.
It says, and finally, since I thought of this later, what's the first game you ever bought yourself? My first was Harvest Moon for the N64. Good times. Yeah, no, I don't remember what the first game I bought would be.
First game
It
you ever
was
bought.
Lego Racers for the N64.
That I would have bought. because I was always kind of gifted stuff and used like birthdays to get stuff for a really, really, really long time. I don't know. I feel like there's
But
probably some older
there's
games.
a different level of like buying things with allowances or whatever. Like the first game I probably bought totally independently of, I worked for 100% of the money and was not dependent on my parents at the time or anything, is Mass Effect 2. Because that's when I, moved out.
Yeah.
Became independent.
Mine would be definitely.
If you go back to like what you spent your first money on as a kid or whatever, then you can go way back and find anything, right?
Mhm.
I'm trying to think, because it would have been like when I would have moved out as well, and then that would have been pretty much when I would started casting, ish.
Richard, what's the first game you ever casted?
Yeah.
Condemned 2.
Really?
Yeah, for 1 week, and then it failed.
That's awesome.
One dude came in and bitched at me, and I stopped for 6 months.
Jeez. Why did you get bitched at?
I don't remember. I had a webcam pointed at my screen and a Logitech around the back of my headset between the keyboard, my speaker, and my face. So I would be typing things, would be ridiculously loud. I'd be yelling into it so they could hear me, and my speakers up real loud so they could hear the game.
Jeez.
That's how JTV used to be, you guys, and that was almost a quality stream. I don't know. What my actual first game I would have bought would have been. Maybe it was Condemned 2. Maybe I fucking bought that, but I don't think so. No, that was still running off of like random birthday monies and all that shit. I don't even know. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Rolling into the store early to get Mass Effect 2. You remember that?
Oh man, that was so much fun.
Picked me up, just cruised in there before the store opened. Walked in, got our copies, went home.
Yo, we ran that shit.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it for those questions. Unless Devin, do you have anything that you would remember?
No.
That's tough. I don't know.
Nope.
I feel like when I got money, I feel like when I first got my first paycheck, I rolled into like an EB Games and just bought like 6 fucking like used games and just bought just like.
That's
so
the thing with me is like the rule at my house was if I wanted anything like tech related, I had to save up cash for myself. So my first gaming PC was an old Pentium 2 system that I cobbled together through parts from my old high school.
Wow.
and played original Counter-Strike on that for like 4 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah, see, the beauty of the older Valve stuff is that it like they got the scaling of that stuff done so well.
Yeah,
they had so long to work with it.
yeah.
Like look
And
at all the
I
changes that Half-Life went through.
I had a big 18-inch CRT monitor that sat on my desk, and this thing could light my whole room up when I turned it on. And it always made, remember when you had to degauss your monitors?
Yeah.
The best feeling ever.
I had to turn it on and degauss it twice before it would work. So it was like, I'm probably irradiated now because of it.
I was just gonna say it probably burnt your face.
I love it.
And this was like Windows XP kind of deal. Like this was the first PC I built, but then I also had my dad's like the first PC we had in the house, which was a Windows 95, and I had that sitting beside my tower that I called Steve, and so when a buddy came over, we could both play Counter-Strike. That was my version of LAN.
My first monitor that I had was like you turn it on and it would be like teal colored everything, and then it would take like 30 minutes for it to start bringing the color and for it to get brighter and all that shit. I was like, man, that's so fucking garbage. It's the worst. Goddamn CRTs. Anyways, that's it for questions on the actual YouTube comments. On Twitter, we've got a few questions from Sweet2.
Parties?
What?
Did you guys ever do LAN parties?
Yeah.
Okay, so I used to bring my computer Steve, which I fucking screwed a handle into the top of the case so I could carry it around.
Oh my god.
And had this I had a smaller, I called it my portable monitor. It was a 15-inch CRT. That was portable. And there are definitely times
keep in mind, that was back in the day when like having a 20-inch monitor was just completely unheard of.
Yeah, and the funny thing was, we'd always have like LAN parties at least twice a month over at a buddy's place across town, and it was like watching March of the Penguins. There'd be 5 of us marching with CRT monitors in our hands. There's one dude hauling a cart with all of the computers in it.
That's pretty awesome. LAN parties are pretty sweet.
I was always a console kid, so I never had that. It was mostly like bring a controller over, or like.
We have LAN parties every end of the year with a sweet marathon, mini LAN party.
Talking about that's been like the last.
Shut up.
Actually, I have a funny story about LAN parties.
Go for it.
So the first LAN party I ever went to was the biggest shit show of life because it was a perfectly square basement, and there were 35 people in that basement.
Oh man!
And when I say 35 people, I mean comfortably.
Oh,
this
wow.
was a massive basement, yeah, and it was like laid out perfectly, just a complete square. There were wall outlets everywhere. I feel like it was a room designed for LAN parties, and everyone had like a checklist of shit that they had to bring from an equipment perspective. And the guy and I still remember the guy, his name was Sylvain. It was his place, or his parents' place rather. And his mom was awesome. She went so far as to actually take everyone's preferences down in terms of what they liked to eat, and she straight up did like a full consensus of what would work best and like what it would cost and this and that. And she even brought like little snacks down for us and stuff. Like she was super chill, and like that LAN party was.
That's kind of awesome.
I miss being able to do that with someone, like just having the time. Like it's something that I feel you can get away with when we're younger, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then as you get older, you've got work and stuff. This is an all too familiar conversation, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, like that stuff. Like I'll never forget that fantastic LAN party.
There's always that great moment you've got as a memory.
It's the LAN party. Like I don't think anything ever came close to or even remotely close to that.
Okay, so with our LAN parties, we had this. Everybody pitched and bought a old government surplus 48 port router that then everybody cabled into that, and so there were bundles of like everybody had to bring their own Cat 5 cable. So people had like varying lengths from like 3 feet to one kid only brought 100-foot Cat 5 cable to every LAN party you went to. So he always ended up being set up in a different room. Some weird as shit. And there's always
long cable.
Yeah, there are always big bundles of like 12 or 16 cat cables snaking into a different room. Like it was honestly amazing. That shit doesn't happen anymore.
That's like when I was in high school. We used to, because I was console gamer for the longest time. We used to go over to John's house. You guys have met John,
Yep.
pretty sure. He was my roommate here for a little while. We used to go over to his house, and I would bring over my Xbox 360 and would plug it in his basement, and he had another one in his main room upstairs, and we would play 8-player Halo matches. And there would be a lot of yelling across his entire house because you had to be heard in the basement when some motherfucker killed you.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a lot of good times, but I never had the hauling my whole PC experience.
Yeah.
Ever. It moves once a year to Riccio's house right now. That's what happens.
Dan, I had a harness for my PC. My PC was 68 pounds.
I had a super nice box for my Xbox. You've seen that box, I think, Kumar.
Yeah.
The bad part is, I still have my fucking first keyboard.
Oh my god. Play yellow and fucking gross right now though.
Yellow and gross, and it's got like when I was a kid, I used to make my own like electronics and stuff.
Ugh.
And so there's like burned solder marks in the plastic from when I accidentally knocked the soldering iron onto the keyboard.
God.
Yeah.
I can't recall one time where I've brought my computer over to a LAN party and then had it still work when it got there without me having to fiddle with some shit or bringing it back and being like, well, that's not working, or it's blue screening all the time now, like something coming loose and fucking it all up.
But it's like whenever I plug in my PC at your place, Rich, there's always some fucking
there's always something
output issue that happens.
But anyways, moving on to some questions so we can burn through these. Not burn through them in a bad way, but just to get to them. Sweet2 asked via Twitter, what is your favorite effect you've ever seen in any movie or game?
That chem rail.
That chem rail? Oh my god.
That chem rail.
You know what's gonna sound really dumb that you guys are gonna all hate me for probably, but the handycam, like close shot up where it's like documentary style, like where you're like kind of with the characters. I love that.
Yeah,
effect.
but these,
Fucking
like, man, like,
problem,
that's-
Riccio.
I love that.
But man, realistically, that's not any different than like a minimalist design in an indie title.
Yeah.
I'd equate it to the same kind of thing.
There is little as impressive as the pod race.
Cloverfield is still the
Phantom
amazingest.
Menace.
I don't know what you're talking about. Cloverfield's amazing. That entire movie.
I hated the shit out of that
Cloverfield is so
movie.
fucking good. I saw that movie like 4 or 5 times in
Skips, piece
theaters.
of Shit.
4 to 5 times in theaters, and I fucking bought it because it was so good. So good. Any other?
Can't fucking believe you right now.
There's a lot of stuff. I mean, I really liked it.
That camera.
I mean, I might get hated on for this, but I loved that first shot of the floating islands in Avatar.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
a lot of stuff in Avatar. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I know that a lot of it is. I mean, people are probably gonna shit on me for it, but
You guys, when are we gonna watch the rest of the fucking Star Wars movies?
What's the Star Wars? It's been too long. We have to restart.
my
We have
God.
to restart.
Oh my God.
Do you want to hear all facts while we watch them again?
Yeah. No. But anyways, his other thing is what is your favorite legend that you've heard? Can't even recall one.
Creepypasta stuff is
Oh,
fun.
yeah, I guess that stuff's weird. I don't know. I've never really. I feel like growing up, I never really
I
had
used to hear a
stories.
lot of that stuff when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
it's kind of just poof gone out of my memory right now. Like
Favorite
I
legend?
wouldn't be able to recall anything in specific.
Yeah, I don't think even growing up, I don't think I was ever really told legends and stuff, or you could hear about it sometimes, like stupid. I don't
Lots
know.
of stuff from like mythology.
Yeah.
Counts.
I guess the God of
what,
War is
what
pretty
was,
cool.
sorry, what was the question? What's your favorite legend?
Yeah, I liked I Am Legend. I didn't actually. But,
You're an idiot.
it made me really sad.
Like I Am Legend.
It
Like,
made me
all
really.
over the place here, Richie.
I liked that movie until a certain part where I don't ever want to watch that movie again. That movie made me cry in a theater.
Talk about the dog.
Yeah, my fucking.
That happens to everyone. Like it's part of the
I
fucking.
know, but I felt like such a bitch in the theater. I think I was watching with like Fike or something, and he was just totally mad as fuck.
I feel like Spike would have shat all over you if you were complaining about anything.
I'm pretty sure I remember doing that like blink a lot thing, like wiping my face, and him like looking over like, you fucking crying? Like something stupid.
Oh, you're such an ass.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I can't think of any legends.
I have a grand appreciation for Greek mythology in general. I don't know if that qualifies as legend in any which way, shape, or form, but
No, yeah, I really like reading about that stuff.
that, and then a lot of the, I guess this isn't entirely legend, but the entirety behind the beliefs and whatnot of ancient Egyptian civilization is just such a ridiculous interest of mine.
Hey, you know, Kumar, the most recent Magic the Gathering set is based on Greek mythology.
Is it actually?
Yeah, I'm not even shitting you. It's called Theros.
Wait, I don't know why this remembered me. I don't know why this reminded me. I do want to hear more about this, but did you know that there's a real like tangible tarot card deck for Binding of Isaac?
Yeah, sure, why not? Tarot cards are tarot cards.
Yeah, but there were only 666 of them made, and they're all sold out.
You mean like drawn by him type of thing?
Yes, I mean like legit. He
Okay.
had an art. I don't think it was him. It was an artist that worked with him or something. Have you not seen the actual thing? Like they're all numbered and they're signed and everything.
No, yeah,
man.
that's plausible. I believe you. I'm not in disbelief. Not like this fucking, big selling card game that you don't believe me is based on Greek mythology right now. Like,
No. Go. Okay, so now I want to hear more about it. So I need you to tell me about this.
oh well,
And
a lot
also
of
check,
magic stuff takes
Skype,
influence
by the way.
from. What's that?
Oh shit! I just sent that message to MCP. check Skype. You'll see the link that I'm posting. Sorry, MCP, for listening. My apologies. But anyways, continue.
A lot of magic sets they base on, the certain ones that are like theme based. Certain ones they just kind of make up their own stuff.
Okay.
They go with it based on mechanics. But the ones that are theme based, they usually take something out of, human history and kind of mold it in their own way and kind of put their own spin on it.
Okay.
And there are certain so they have a Greek mythology set right now. They had a Japanese one a while back. They just had a couple years ago they had like a gothic horror set.
Okay.
But it was an entire the way magic works is there's different planes of existence.
Yep.
And there are certain characters called planeswalkers that move between the planes, and they're the kind of ongoing story, but they go to the different places over the years. So yeah, right now the first one, the newest one's based on Greek mythology. You might get a real kick out of that. I have a Minotaur deck right now.
I gotta see all these cards.
It's called Theros, if you want to look up some card pictures and stuff.
I had to technical support my video feed here because the cast ended that I was currently videoing, and I had to change it, and it blew up everything, and it started showing Skype twice. So scared. Just want to let you guys know that I just heroed this whole podcast. I saved the entire podcast in the last 30 seconds.
I actually saw you doing something. I didn't know what it was.
Shut up.
But good job, yo.
Moving on to the other questions. I kind of zoned out what you guys are talking about. I'm sorry.
You always fucking never listen when I talk about magic.
That's the. You said magic. I zoned out. I was fucking. Sweet Two also asked, what is something that you never really, that you know about that really makes you wonder how humanity could have ever succeeded? Makes you wonder. What is something?
Sorry, say that again.
What is? What is something that you know about that really makes you wonder how humanity could have ever succeeded? Does that mean like a terrible event or
violence? Simple. This is a very simple thing. Violence. We are by far the most violent thing we've ever encountered. Forget volcanoes. Forget natural disasters. Forget everything else. Humans are the most violent.
No, yeah, the larger evolution of the world is based on humans fighting each other.
What about human volcanoes?
But I don't get how, and I mean, I understand how we've overcome a lot of that stuff, but the fact that there's still so much of it in the world, I don't understand how we've gotten to where we've gotten.
Yeah.
I think that
that would do it, yeah. Well, why haven't we just, like, I'm surprised we haven't nuked each other yet, and how the fuck are we still doing this?
And especially, like, you remember, like, a while back, this would have been months ago now, but when Stomps was talking about some of the events where nukes have straight up tipped in their silos.
Yeah.
Like, the chances of that happening were very small, but then the chances of them not going off were even smaller. And it's just shocking. It's crazy shocking.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And then his Sweet Tooth's final question is: if you could become the master of any melee weapon, what type of weapon or technique would you focus on? Something like a katana, probably for me, or like a samurai sword, or something ridiculous that would just slice through anything. Would be pretty cool. Without
I got something good for you. Have you? Oh my god, I don't remember what that movie was. It was a Jet Li movie.
Hero?
No, I don't think it was Hero. It's he's fighting like a really, really crazy guy. Like he's fighting a guy that he really, really respects at the end of it in a professional tournament kind of thing.
It's the one where he's a dog?
Fearless?
Fearless. I think, actually, wait.
Are you talking about the sword fight in Fearless?
Unleashed or whatever the fuck with the dog?
No, hang on. I'll know in just a second here. I'm looking up.
He's probably talking about the sword fight in Fearless.
I've never seen Fearless.
Yeah, okay. So he's using this crazy nunchuck thing, and it's got 3 pieces on it. Do you know what I'm talking about, Dan?
Are you talking about Fearless?
Yes, I am talking about Fearless. I'm looking at the picture right now.
Okay, so is it at the tournament at the end, or is it like at the kind of halfway point?
No. It's right at the tournament at the end, and
all right.
I know which sword you're talking about, but it's not that. I'm talking about like the crazy nunchuck thing that's got, like I said, 3 pieces on it. Using that is so like watching someone.
Can't he like combine it into a staff or something too? Doesn't he do
well, he holds it all in one piece at some points just to block some of the sword attacks that are coming in, but. He flips it around like it's a friggin' nunchuck, and these things are massive. Like it's half of a bow staff times 3.
Oh yeah, I've seen. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
And then at one point, I don't remember his opponent's name, but the guy actually breaks it, and he just starts using 2 of them like they're just little batons kind of thing. And he just goes crazy with them, and it blows my mind. Like I'll post a link to that, like for that actual fight in the chat.
Just go watch Fearless.
I'm gonna
that too, yeah. I'm gonna just watch the whole movie.
I'm gonna change my answer to either fists or a fluorescent light bulb.
What's the question? Oh my god, fluorescent light.
If you could become the master of any melee weapon, what type of weapon or technique would you focus on?
A lightsaber.
Lightsaber? Yeah, pretty cool. Devin, you got an idea?
I just beat all your weapons.
Probably small bladed weapons like karambits and stuff like that.
Mm,
There's more practicality in that than just rolling around with the katana.
okay. You sure you don't want to change your answer to money, Dan?
No, lightsaber.
Okay, money, lightsaber of money or money? Lightsaber?
A lightsaber will do what the fuck I want.
Okay, do what the fuck I want. All right, nice. All right, and then finally, we got a few questions pulled from the chat. We got Shanghai, China asking, if you went back in time to save yourself from a dangerous incident, how would you get your younger self to believe that you are from the future? And 2, how and what would you do to save yourself?
I'm not answering this question because then one of you would be able to make younger self believe that you were me from the future, and then bad things would happen.
So paranoid.
I would.
That's the right answer here.
It is, Dan. I'm not denying that at all.
I would probably have to prove it by showing them my 5th penis. No, I have no idea. I don't know if there's anything that I could do that would be different. I would just make like a monologue of puns, and he'd just know. he'd either believe me or he'd think I'm a god. So, like,
Either way, it works out.
Yeah, either way, he'd listen to me. He being myself in the past.
No.
And what would I do to save myself? I'd make so many puns that I'd be laughing and I wouldn't do whatever would be bad. Or
You know what Somps would do, right? Somps would just show his profile in Nether or something and how many people he's killed.
He would just hunt himself down and kill himself. No,
Oh my
no.
God.
I'd be the most dangerous game of all.
Oh god.
Hunting what no man has hunted before, himself.
Exactly.
Nice. Any other answers for that one?
For me, I think just share intimate details from the past. I don't know.
That
I'm
one
guessing
thing
that
I
would
would
be
do
the
to
easiest thing.
myself? Yeah, I know about that. Oh, you must be me. I don't want to know. Don't.
Realistically, you can even use like life events, right? Like you can even say like, "Hey, remember when this happened?"
Yeah, but what if everything is categorized and it's all in hacked notes and robots would know? Maybe you're a robot.
That's
or...
why you guys should be fucking talking about it right now.
See, believe me, I'm an
He has a
extremely
time machine. He's gonna go back and kill all of us in our youth.
Jeez.
I would approach myself and I would drink
But
from a
not
jar.
me, because I didn't fucking talk.
That's okay, Dan. Maybe you can save us.
I would
Movie
look,
plot.
I would look longingly into my own eyes and make
Oh
love
my
to
God,
myself.
Dan. Dan, this is gonna be Looper 2.
Good. I've never actually seen Looper. I should probably watch Looper.
Oh my
Starring
fucking god, Riccio. We're watching Star Wars first.
Okay. I'll just watch Looper without you. Don't worry.
Looper
Yeah,
2
you-
starring D-Money.
All right, so moving on to the other question. We have Stagman asking, question, why doesn't Dustin podcast with you guys? Dustin does something that involves black ops, military, alien fighting. No, he's actually in the...
He's in Area 51, so he's
No.
not getting a signal.
Is he... he's not the reserves, right? He's just the... He's actually Army or whatever?
I feel like yes.
But Dustin does Army stuff.
And I'm also embarrassed that we don't know this.
Yeah, that's... I feel...
He's Army.
Yo, Dustin is Army, so he's very far away from us.
We get to, I mean, realistically, we get to talk to him almost every day.
Yeah.
But I think just scheduling and, I mean,
Just
how committed he is to everything and the schedule that he actually has to follow. Forget, I mean, something that's regular, but just the like the ongoing stuff that changes for him, I think kind of prevents, I'm pretty sure he's got a 5 o'clock wake up call every morning. And if we start late, then it's just not entirely feasible for him.
Plus, there's quality-wise, if he's in an environment where there's all these people around him, he's usually always
Yeah.
around a lot of other people, depending on where he is, especially if he's on base or whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So that's why Dustin doesn't podcast with us often. And when he does, we always have a great time because even for us, it's like we get to talk to him, which is freaking great. So, yeah. And Sweetu, I believe, had a question for Kumar. I didn't write down the name for this one. I apologize. So
By the way,
Sweetu-
are these YouTube questions?
No, these are taken from the chat from tonight now.
Oh, because I was going to say MCP sent me a message. There's a bunch of stuff. on
Yeah,
YouTube as well.
MCP just did some YouTube ones, which we'll get to in a second.
Okay.
We're going to try to blow through these a little faster. But anyways, Kumar, we have a question directly to you from Sweet2. I believe it was Sweet2. He says, Kumar, I'm going to start a brokerage account very soon in 1 to 2 weeks. And I was wondering if you have any knowledge on it. What tips can you give me?
Where is Sweet 2 again?
He's in the U.S. somewhere. I don't remember. He just moved. I don't remember where he moved to again. But
Okay, if he's in the U.S., I mean, right out of the gate, I would say, if you're looking at anything financial service related, be
Mhm.
very weary about the fact that it is easily the most heavily regulated industry in the world. And again, rightfully so. This is not, I mean, for the worse. It's actually for the good because you're protected the same way that your clients are protected, if that's the way you go. But
so he's in California. He just said it.
oh, okay, yeah. So I mean, you're governed by a lot of very, very powerful bodies, and as such, I would say, not only be wary of them, but also get familiar with them as soon as you possibly can, because for all of the hokum that you kind of have to go through in terms of reporting and all that stuff. Like I'll give you an example. Like here in Canada, or at least here in Ontario, we're governed by something called the OSC, the Ontario Securities Commission. Out in the States, I believe it's the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission. For you guys, your annual report forms are 10K, I believe, and your quarterly reports are Form 10Q. These are things that it's all very, very basic accounting. Get acquainted with that as quickly as you possibly can, and make sure that you know full well the ramifications of screwing shit up, because you'll understand very quickly when you see the consequences of screwing things up. I can talk to you more about that later. Like there's a whole lot of stuff that I could probably help you out with. It's just a matter of finding out the specifics behind what you're doing. So maybe table that and
Fucking blackout. What podcast am I on?
The Kumar Hour, bringing you the tips to make your money into money. I don't know what the hell.
Well, I can talk to him afterwards. I think
Yeah.
I have him on Skype. If I don't, then I'll get.
Come on.
But it's good for you for him to know at least that you know about that stuff, so he can totally help you out. Sweet dude.
Yeah, I can help. I can, or at least I can try to help in
Yeah.
whatever way that I can.
Yeah. So that's it for the chat questions. Unless I missed some, let me know again. MCP went ahead and posted some comments on the podcast real quick while we were doing this, so I'm gonna go ahead and read them. He says, "Do you have any old consoles?" He also comments and saying he has a Nintendo 64. He's got a PS2, lots of PS2 games, and a lot of games on PS2 that have obviously Riccio has never played before, which I missed out on the PlayStation and PlayStation 2. I kind of hate that, but yeah. So do you guys have any old consoles?
I have all of my old consoles.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I've got the N64. I've got the GameCube. I've got Xbox 360, PS3. My dad's still got his PS2 sitting around somewhere. The only thing I don't have really is older handheld stuff. I don't
Yeah.
have my Game Boy Advance anywhere.
I traded in my
I
Game
literally
Gear.
have no idea where that is.
I traded in my Game Gear and my Game Boy Pocket.
Way to go.
Game Gear?
Casey,
No,
are
just
you-
don't get rid of anything now.
I know. Now that I've done it, I was like, fuck. That's why. Yeah. But I know I have
Are
an.
you ready for this list?
I had a Game Gear.
On, I'll bust out my quick list of an NES, an SNES, a Genesis with like 4 games, an N64, GameCube, Xbox, no PS, no PlayStations, PS3, and moving up to that stuff. But like, I had a Dreamcast as well, which I guess is the only other thing that might be semi-rare. But Kumar,
Okay, you ready for this?
hit us with it.
So my dad's Atari 2600,
Yeah.
the NES, the SNES, the N64, the PS1, like the really, really mini one. Do you remember that? Did you guys ever see that?
Which one?
Like the really, really small PS1.
Oh yeah.
The one that was actually written out like one, so it was a good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I see
So that, my PS2, my Xbox, my 360, my PS3, my Game Boy Advance, my Game Boy Micro, my DS Lite.
Oh, that's right. I have a DS Lite and a.
Oh, GameCube. Did I say GameCube already?
I think so. No, I don't think you did. No, you didn't. You skipped right over to the PlayStation stuff.
GameCube as well. Yeah, that's about it. I think that's all of
I
them.
think I still have my Game Boy Color, my Advance, my SP, my DS Lite, and yeah,
Them Nintendo handhelds, man.
yeah. Holy shit! I'm so sad I don't have my Game Gear anymore. But anyway, what about you guys? Is anybody else? I forget what. I know Dan. Devin, did you?
Stomps hasn't said anything yet.
This is for the retro
Yeah,
consoles.
yeah.
SNES, N64, Xbox that I got rid of, original Game Boy, Game Boy SP because I'm that cool.
SP was dope.
SP was super dope.
Yeah, SP was fucking amazing. Backlit.
Screen, man.
Backlit.
Backlit.
Too good.
Flip that shit up.
You know what's funny is
Rechargeable batteries.
if you go to my parents' place, we have about 6 Xbox originals.
Really?
Yeah, there's like 2 of them. There's like
Why
2 or
so many? Yeah.
there's 2 or 3 of them hooked up around the house, and then there's like 3
to
of them.
what end? What?
Just because they were cheap at some point, and then there's like 3 in the basement just like busted up into parts in case the other ones break down to change their drives and shit. It's pretty amazing.
What are they, just DVD
Unreal.
players at that point? What?
Only one of them has
Or can we go play 12-player Halo at your parents' house?
You probably
Yeah,
could, yeah.
seriously.
We only have one of them with the DVD remote on it, so only one of them could play DVDs. I'm sorry.
My Xbox is
What the
modded so
fuck are you
hard.
this
for-
for?
Cause it was the Xbox 360, so we got 3. Then we said no, we want 6. There's no T, so
Oh my
I
god.
don't fucking know. They were awesome for the none games that I played on it. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, I think that question's done. I think all questions are done. I can't see anything else. No, I think that's pretty much it. So, Devin, do you want to hit us with the outro?
Sure. So if you guys have made it this far, great, good stuff. If you're listening to us on iTunes, make sure you come check us out on YouTube. For those who are wondering about what has happened to Let's Plays and stuff like that, well, we are nearly done school, and once we are done school, we're going to be trying to pick up some more stuff. If you guys have questions or comments, make sure you leave them down below. And thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Sompy.
I'm Riccio.
I'm Dan.
I'm Kumar.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Y'all have been
Take
awesome.
care, guys. All the best.
Bye.